Unusual.
Oh, did he have the sushi now?
I just looked at a picture of it, yeah.
Ooh, did you get some rolls?
As opposed to, I guess you can have.
You can get with the sashimi, right? You put the
And
meat
the
on the
nigiri,
rice. Yeah. The nigiri, yeah.
Sushi is good.
I love sushi. It's
You
like
would
the
say
go-to.
that.
Outside of like Five Guys.
I like the smell
Yeah,
of fish.
Five Guys is good. I don't mind. I don't
Four
mind
Guys?
the restaurant either. But it's just so expensive.
It's stupid expensive. Yeah, yeah it
Like,
doesn't make
it's
any
just
sense why it's so
for
expensive.
for
It's like
what?
a burger, a normal burger, and fries. Yummy fries, but they're just fries, guys.
They are
Fries
just
Guys.
fries.
What's everyone's favorite cuisine? Like, if you're going out for dinner, where do you go? Cuisine.
What's everyone's favorite cuisine?
Do you have an entree? Any hors d'oeuvres?
Escargot.
What's that?
Escargot. I think it's like snails. I don't know. I said something pretentious.
I was like-
I think sushi's pretty good.
Well, you are wearing a suit. Now
I
we
like.
want to talk about
I
it.
like ice cream. I've been able to put like gallons away over a week. Like if you give me a full week and like a couple of gallons, it's gone. It's gone. If I don't care, it could be gone. I can polish it off easily.
Is a gallon like 4 liters? 3 liters?
It's almost 4, I believe. It's like 3.74.
Oh, so you're an animal. That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
A couple
He
of
goes
gallons
hard.
of ice cream.
I could
bulking.
if I wanted to. I'm sure I have at some point. I'm interested to hear
sure.
Mark's favorite cuisine. Actually, I don't know if it's like nuts and berries, roots, or
Roots.
Chicken, rice.
your favorite. I like the simple things. I like the simple
If
things.
I,
think
want
you
to
know.
spice it up, I'll cook like peppers and zucchini. Put a bunch of spices on them. I can make some chow mein,
I could see it.
bok
Okay.
choy, bread bok choy, noodles. Oh really?
No, I haven't.
No, it's good. I'm not into sushi. Hate to be the only one in the group that doesn't like Lord of the
I
Rings.
think it's an age thing.
Maybe.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing.
Mike isn't that old.
No.
I get more
EP's
sensitive at that
Canadian.
age now.
EP's Canadian.
I'm 31 next month.
31.
I'm 35.
Yeah, just going over the hill.
It's a young
What date?
too.
October 6th.
Ah.
I gotta write that down.
It'll be the weekend before the Olympia.
Block Sanch on October 6th. Show him who's boss.
Unsubscribe on
That's
October
what he
6th.
just wrote down. Unsub block.
I'd be so sad I woke up and 300 subs lost. Like, and there it
Oh,
goes.
who's Elgato?
Where did you
Oh,
go?
we got Elgato back. I remember this from months ago.
I can't have anything nice in life.
I can't even.
Oh, he's still with
Elgato.
us.
Yeah, I'm
From
still
beyond
here.
the
It's just
grave.
the camera just like overheats and then I lose it.
That's crazy.
I hate
Let's
it.
find Elgato.
Great company.
Did
How long has the camera been on? You should ask for your money back.
Oh, there's a picture of him.
Oh, here we go. Are we back?
Did you tell
With
us
the big
your
screen?
Stand by Lou
favorite
Rizz.
Big
cuisine,
button?
Sanch?
With the what?
Did you tell us your favorite cuisine as as desktop guy?
My favorite.
Oh yeah, you had that on there last time.
My
What?
favorite would have to be, when I did my last bodybuilding show, I went and got a T-bone steak. It was like a 40-ounce T-bone
Yeah.
with American fries, cut like wedges.
Yep, that can be really good.
That was it hit the spot.
Did you have an ice cream?
Did
at
you get
the
any
end?
sauce on that steak?
No.
Sorry, double
Nope.
question.
They're two good questions.
Because a T-bone, it's already got a lot of fat on it, so you don't really need to add a lot to it. So,
But there's not much better than a mushroom sauce, though. Do you guys have mushroom sauce over there?
yeah.
No, we eat food, Xavier.
No, but you know have this cultural things, like snails, like whatever you El
Yes, we have
Cargo.
mushrooms.
Escargot. I don't even know what that is.
Snails.
I don't do French. We be.
Calamari.
I think yeah, it would be.
Calamari's squid or octopus or one of them ones.
Eggs,
Yeah, I think
right?
it's squid.
And
Do you guys
Oh, no,
call calamari's different, isn't it?
It's a squid. Yeah, like
I think
baby
it's squid.
octopus or something.
no, squid and octopus
we,
are two different animals.
Yeah, I think it's squid.
It's got
Yeah. So
tentacles.
in Australia, so we catch what we call, at least when we go fishing. So where I'm from in Tasmania, we have squid and what we also call calamari as well. So I think it's they're basically the same, but
Yeah.
one of them's they look slightly different. But the calamari is so much softer. So like the actual hood, when you cut it and cook it up, Calamari so much softer, but it would be
Probably a
so
type
if I went
of
fishing. Yeah, exactly, a type of squid because they're so similar. It's just that one was lighter than the other one, basically. But when you go fishing off rocks, we'd always catch for calamari, and you can feel them pulling. So if you're fishing for like squid or calamari, it won't be like a nibble and a bite. It won't go like like that. It'll be more of a pull, like a big like sort of a drag, like it almost takes the hook. So as soon as you feel that, and you put one of those like they call them squid jigs, and it's got those like barbs that sort of come up at the bottom.
Yep.
You just throw those out, and then it just gets into them and they suck on that.
Ouch.
They're good. Fresh. If you have fresh calamari, it is one of life's great joys.
I'd rather shoot a
fresh
deer out back and eat
snow
that.
crab once. That was pretty good.
Yeah. More efficient. More meat. What'd you say, Sanch?
I had fresh snow crab once.
Snow crab.
People like
What is
that,
that?
yeah.
Just a
It's like
variety of
East
crab.
Coast thing.
It'd be like lobster, would it not be?
It's like a crab, but just a different kind of crab. It's like a lobster is more like long and red, and a crab is more like circular and. Well, I guess they both have the.
I wouldn't eat either one of them unless I was hungry. Again, if I'm hungry, I'll eat anything.
Not getting down with the crustaceans, eh?
No. No.
Okay. Okay.
Not in the nation of the crustacean.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I don't. I will not
See-
eat a lobster.
I've never eaten lobster. That's one thing that I'm ashamed of. But
Yeah, you
as
should
an
be.
adult
Shouldn't be.
now, going out for dinner should be.
No.
Mixed
They're
opinions.
bottom
This is
feeder.
YouTube comments right now.
They're all bottom.
Yeah. So, lobster's expensive, right? I don't know how expensive it is in America, but in Australia it's expensive. So if you're going out for dinner to have that, like there's places in like Western Australia where I lived. There's a place, I think it's called Lobster Shack or something, or Lobster something, but it's still very expensive. So you put bibs on and all that sort of stuff, and you just eat lobster. I don't feel like trying lobster the first time can be something like that, because you are committed to eating a lot of lobster at a place like that, and there's no real alternative. So I haven't wanted to order lobster myself, because it's like, well, am I going to pay $60 for this and just sit there and not eat it if I don't like it? So I have to have the right opportunity to try lobster. So yeah,
We'll see here in proper places, we just go to Outback and get it with our meal.
you go to Outbacks. Do we even have Outback? I don't even know if we have Outbacks.
I doubt it. What's
in
the
the
market?
Outback.
You know, that'd be
Yeah.
like you can't sell Mexican restaurants in Mexico. They're just restaurants. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the
The
fortune
thing
cookie.
is, like Australian food, fortune cookie.
Yeah, they were
What is
never
Australian
actually
food?
in.
Yeah.
Vegemite.
Yeah.
That's what it says in Down Under. Yes,
Good song.
yes, that
Good
song.
song, hey?
It is a very good song.
Yeah, good song. We have actually a lot of, I think, Australian music. If you came here and got into the culture and listened to like old Australian music, like there's bands like one called Cold Chisel, just so Australian. Like the lead singer's name is Jimmy Barnes. It's like that doesn't get any more Australian than that, and he just screams. It's like they've got songs called Working Class Man. What's that song called? It's like Last Train Out of Sydney, and it's like it's a vibe. It's a vibe. It makes you want to start a bonfire, listen to these songs on like a warm Australian night, and I don't know, drink a beer and smoke a cigarette, even though you don't
So what
smoke
is it
a
like?
cigarette.
Country? Is it like folksy? Is it?
Ska.
Australian rock.
Okay.
Are we
right.
talking like dad rock, like Nickelback, or like?
Nah. But these guys, like, for example, this guy would be on stage. Oh, I realised my internet's connected through my phone and I just unplugged it. But I'll show you a photo of them just so you get the vibe. But yeah, it's look, your 60-year-old dad. Oh, this is them like nowadays. That's Jimmy Barnes in the middle. So like. But he looks like he gets drunk on stage every time. I don't know if you can see it properly. But
Sounds like like any like dad rock band, Creed. You know,
but Aussie, you know what I mean? Bit more like
Aussie.
he would be smashed on stage, drinking beers, screaming, and the type of music is like, "Last train out of Sydney," and he's like, screaming into the thing. So like at the end of the show, he'd just have no voice and just be like, and smashed and smoking a packet of cigarettes or something. I don't know.
I don't go to concerts. Who spends money on that?
I just went to a
Who
concert.
spends
I
money
went
on
to see
concerts?
I saw Post Malone and Chili Peppers in Australia. I like Post Malone.
Chili
Man.
Peppers?
He's good live.
I seen
Yeah.
Our Lady
Chili
Peace.
Peppers.
You guys ever heard of that one?
Sorry?
Our Lady Peace.
No.
No.
No, it's a Canadian
By
band.
Chili Peppers? Oh,
No.
that was a song.
How many concerts have you guys been to?
But not that
A bunch.
many.
Okay.
A bunch,
Well,
but not
people,
that many.
I'm sure music just used to be better. Like,
I've seen ZZ Top.
okay, like
Matthew
that's something
Goodband.
I wouldn't go and
That's cool.
see.
Top.
But,
Matthew Good Band. I don't know if you guys remember that band.
like anybody that I'd want to go and see is like, who would I go to see? Katy Perry?
No, you wouldn't
Like,
go and see Katy Perry.
I might. If she played,
I don't know who it
if she
is.
played the whole Teenage Dream album, I would be so down.
We are not the same person.
Guys,
I'd go see,
2009,
like,
2009, like 2017 pop. It's Lady Gaga, Rihanna. Who else do you have? Katy Perry.
See,
Early
that's
Taylor
after my
Swift.
time.
That's so good. It's so good. Recession pop.
Yeah, I'm more of like the Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
That's okay.
the early
Listen to a
2000s.
Christina Aguilera song or a Britney Spears song nowadays. I think
Oh,
I,
I'm
might,
not
I,
doing
might,
so
I
either.
might string up if I hear one of those play.
It's so
It's
good.
okay if you're at somebody's house and it's playing, but I'm not gonna put it on. Listen to it.
Yeah. I dated someone who was really into that sort of music. Like, she would put on, like, Spice Girls and stuff all the time. And it'd actually make me laugh, because she would put it on getting in the shower and stuff, and the phone would be on the bed or whatever. And I'd be, like, sort of just, like, cracking
Spice
up,
Girl.
because it was like, yeah, it's like, just the lyrics in it as well. Yeah,
Gotta get
I'm
with
listening
my
to that sort of
friends.
stuff. Gotta get with my friends. And I'm listening to that. She's in the shower, and she's, like, vibing out to it. She's like, yeah.
It was a
That's
big
course.
hit, man. I remember when that song was out. That was a huge hit.
Yeah. So, but I think I enjoyed it because I was actually like sort of half laughing at it, half like, oh, that's endearing. You know what I mean? But someone's so into that, like, that music when they were in their mid-30s, early 30s probably at the time. And, like, yeah, it's sort of funny. It's like, I'm like, oh, that's funny. But looking back at it now, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how I could be into that music.
So,
But it's fun to listen to as a once-off.
Xavier, I do have a question. Do you have Rizz?
That word is very similar to another word that starts with a J. And that's all I think of when people say that word. I don't know what Rizz is. Is
You don't
Rizz
have like
Rizz?
Skibbity Riz.
Well, not skibbity Rizz. I mean actual Rizz. I mean, I'm using a Gen Z terminology over here, but I mean it.
Does that mean
in
swag?
a legitimate. No, that's a little different. Rizz is like short for charisma, right? And it's particularly
No.
for the ladies. Like, if you were to say, like asking this question at 89, I'd be like, "So are you a ladies' man?" You know?
Thank you for using my generation's terminology and not being generationally, I don't know, insensitive. No, I'm joking. But
You got the Rizz?
no,
Do
I
you
don't.
show them your
No,
YouTube channel?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, like guys that go out and show like their crypto. You know what I mean? Like they're in a club and they're showing some girl their crypto to like show off. You?
Yeah, I show my portfolio.
I have a whole. I have.
Have
Oh,
you
that's
seen my-
good. That's good.
No, I
Come
don't.
home and I'll
I
show you
have
my
like.
ETH.
I have like.
I'll show you my ETH.
16th.
You have 18 Bitcoin.
No, I have like a 16th of a Bitcoin.
That's still a lot. I mean,
I got my crypto portfolio like tripled when I started.
Yeah,
I did pretty good.
mine got very tasty, but I got greedy.
so Xavier, you don't have Rizz? You don't have Rizz?
I don't think
Come on.
that I'm stupid when I talk to girls. So
No one's going to
what I
fact
would
check
s-
this. You can lie.
No one's watching. It's fine. It's just us.
No. It's safe here. I feel like sometimes you hear of what guys say to girls, and you go, "Are you completely simple?" Like that's so far from what a girl would want to hear ever. But at the same time, I know I just make vital errors, and I just go, "I don't care." So I'm like, when I say errors, I mean like, you know, when someone tries to have game at the start of a relationship, I'm like,
Yeah.
I would, if I want to, I would know how to play the game. You know what I mean? It's like, cool. But if if I've got WhatsApp open on my computer and a girl messages me, and even if she took 2 hours to write back, I'll just be like, write back quickly or whatever if I'm free at that moment.
Yeah,
you know,
but
I'm not
you
like,
don't want to do that with when
You don't
when you're
seem
playing the
too-
game.
exactly. But after if I was talking to a female, hypothetically, after a couple of
That
days,
haven't happened yet.
I get sick of it, and then I'm just like, oh, whatever. And then I'm just like, just
So true.
just fall into like that. And then a lot of the time you'll notice if you write back too quick or whatever, it's just they just seem not interested all of a sudden or whatever. Or if you're too, it's funny because most women, if you are too nice, if you're too much of a nice guy, which I've copped from being too much of a nice guy or whatever, girls are like, oh yeah, I've met so many arseholes, whatever. But it's I don't even blame women that much, but it's a psychology thing. But it's when a woman can catch themselves,
they can't help
to be
themselves.
like, why am I turned off from this guy for whatever reason, right? If they can catch themselves and then, like, I recognise as well and whatever and just back off a little bit, give them some space, that sort of thing, then it's like, oh, this woman's, like, emotionally mature. You know what I mean? And that's the woman you would want to pursue. Because if someone is just, like, off you and then the next day they're with another guy or whatever, it's like...
That's hot.
I don't... You just don't want that sort of thing anyway,
Yeah.
You can tell. If someone goes cold all of a sudden and they're not writing back to you and all that sort of stuff, like, really badly, it's like, yeah, okay, there's something else happening or whatever.
Man, that was such a long explanation to say, I have no Rizz.
I have no game.
Clip it, chat.
Well,
So
Josh,
I was deep in thought about this, so I was like, at some stage recently.
You have the appeal of traveling, and there's a mystique that comes with that.
Passport
It's
bros.
not just it can be stateside too.
Okay.
It's just that mystique. It's just like he's from, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, oh, he's from a far off land. He's from Wisconsin.
like it.
Do I get that?
Yeah.
Do I get that if I came to America?
Ooh, with that accent, you'd get me.
I don't. I would say so. Especially if you say, I'm leaving in 2 days. Let's do something. Insert activity here. Not being
Do you like hot tubs?
not being explicitly forward, but just like, I'm staying in this. You gotta appeal to the romance. It's literally a romance novel. You gotta. Please, it's like a Jack and Titanic thing. And that's such a sick movie. That is such an absolutely disgusting movie. Here's this 80-year-old woman that has never moved on from some hobo she had sex with on the Titanic. Grow up, lady. And she had... What did she remarry? Did she remarry? Did she marry and have kids in that movie as well?
I thought she did.
That's disgusting. She should be ashamed of herself. I'm not the first one to point this out. I'm just rehashing what I've heard, but... Come on, grow up.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
You're fantasizing about some hobo that you shared what, 2 nights with, or maybe like a week.
Week, wasn't it?
Okay, a week at max.
Hey,
Come on.
You can fall in love in a week.
He had Rizz.
You can.
He
Yeah,
did.
he had the Rizz.
If he was not on the boat, would it have mattered? She would have been like, nope. I do not care. But that situation is what makes it mysterious. And he was already a mysterious figure, like he comes from nothing. She's an outside. He's an outsider to her. But if she just saw this hobo on the street, she was wealthy. She would spit on people like him daily. I'm sure of it.
But maybe,
So-
but maybe she's just a big fan of semen.
Well, apparently she was, because she can't get it out of her head for 70 years.
Can't get it out of her head for 70 years. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Next topic. Italy.
Italy Pro. Recap it. 20 minutes in, we're talking about bodybuilding.
What's
In the
that?
90s.
I've never even seen Titanic, I gotta be honest.
No?
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, the Italy Pro was, I don't know. What were your guys' takeaways from that show?
Italy? I'll go last. I can go first if you want me to.
Okay, I wasn't over this show heaps, so I did obviously catch up on it and stuff. But it's the least I've actually looked deeply into a show. But I still probably is more than most people. So Hunter, like, my overall view of Hunter was that I suppose, like, the first thing is that sort of lump on his upper ab sternum area. A lot of people were talking about that. For me, I think that's just... it's really weird. I've got on each side of my ribs... I actually went to the doctor about this. I've got these 2 little, like, nodules. One on each side, and they're, like, hard on the side of my ribs. And I was, like, sitting down, and I feel like... I go like this now, and it will, like, sort of click, like they're not meant to be there. I went to the doctor and they were sort of like, oh yeah, no, that happens. Like, oh, it could be this, could be that. You know, they're like just not worried at all. I'm like it's not tumours or something, is it? And they're like, no, you're fine. I'm like, oh, okay. They said it can be from an impact thing or whatever, and obviously bodybuilders growing bigger. I don't know if it's something to do with that, but it could just be like some calcium build up or a growth, or I've heard cartilage build, some sort of cartilage thing or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I've got the same thing going on. So mine haven't gotten, like, it's like mine just grew to this point where they stick out. Like if I get shredded now, if I pose my abs in one way and suck it up, they won't stick out. But if I just flex them and have my obliques out, you would see these two lumps, one each side.
Bonek has something similar. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but people bring that up. It's like just Greg Doucette also was talking about it because he has similar things. I have no idea. I just know other people have things that seem to be exactly what you're describing.
Yeah, and mine popped up like that. Like it was so quick. And because I was looking at Hunter, and I'm like, I didn't really see that, or didn't see it anywhere near as big back then. But it's like it's come up really quickly, and you can see it there. So
it's very noticeable.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's something he can do about that. I don't believe it would probably get any worse because mine popped up very quick and then just stopped. But it makes me wonder, can he have... Is that something, if it is cartilage, can it be shaved down? Could he get an operation where... Because if it's...
I don't know, man.
Up there, I don't know. There,
was it
super
is
obvious,
it new?
You know?
Is it really new? Or are people just saying that? I feel like...
I've never noticed it.
Okay.
I've never noticed
I'm looking
and
at
I've
pictures.
critiqued
I'm looking at
Hunter
pictures
a lot.
Yeah, I've never noticed it. And to be honest, like Hunter, like outside of that, like he looked pretty damn good. I think he just needs that little bit extra, that little bit of tweaking to come in really hard. But there's a lot of thickness there. I think he needs that bit more thickness through the chest to complete his physique. But overall, like.
Yeah, the legs win it for him. Yeah.
He is huge structurally, yeah. Presti's good.
Did Xavier die?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Xavier froze.
An Australian Fisher-Price connection.
The momentum of the video just died.
I definitely was interested with the comparison on, like, who's winning what shot, Hunter and Xavier.
Now, is that Bruno? The other guy?
Yeah, that looks like Bruno, yep.
He kind of looks like Xavier.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think it's the facial hair in the nose.
No, if you look at a picture of him, he kind of does. They look similar.
Yeah, this footage is really different compared to the live.
It does make Hunter look better.
I'm releasing this video tonight, a Hunter progress report where I compared 2021, 2023, and then 2024, obviously. I would say, peaking-wise, it makes sense that he just wasn't his best peak. He's never been...
I mean, sure, yeah.
But I legitimately think he is being done so dirty by the photos and everything.
The lighting.
Looking at this, even this iPhone footage from within the audience,
right?
It tells a completely different story. I legitimately believe he may have been his biggest here for sure because the back was better, the legs were even bigger. Everything got bigger. And I think he may have been his most conditioned as well. But with that peak, I don't think he nailed it 100% fullness, what have you. I do think it was a fullness issue. So the separation wasn't as crisp, but he was just as grainy and just as hard as he
ever has been.
You can tell
he's really on. Like the footage
maybe a bit
really
too on. I think it could have been a bit fuller.
Yeah,
I expect to see him better.
There definitely wasn't as much separation in the legs compared to Texas.
But like size-wise and like gains-wise, body parts, there's no denying. There's no denying this is his best version on that metric.
Yeah, he is improving.
Yeah, that's what I admire so much. I was really impressed over the year, really the off season when he was, because he's one of the last people that still guest pose, but he was just getting bigger and bigger, and I think that actually did show up on stage. Now the stomach, I think it's been slightly better, but I don't think it's necessarily that much worse. Of course, you have the whole sternum thing, which is maybe even a separate issue, but in terms of the midsection as a whole, it was never that good anyways. Like, it was So
No,
honestly, if it got a little worse, but he got a little better everywhere else, I don't really mind because this is already Hunter anyway. That's already the equation he has to work with.
Yep.
I know some people are like, well, I can't stomach the midsection, pun not intended. I can't stomach that, so if it gets even worse, it ruins the whole thing for me, which I understand, but to me, I think the opposite.
Well, what can he do to fix the midsection though? It's I feel like it's always been like this.
I think it's a hernia. No, it hasn't been.
If he comes in that full, though, it's gonna be
The detail
It's gonna be big. They don't train their abs as much as they used to.
He definitely does. I think it's a hernia.
Yeah, and when you have one of those, you can't really train your abs. And when you diet to get peeled, it weakens the whole structure of it. Phil Heath had to deal with that. It would be nice to have a little improvement on the midsection, though.
Hunter went back to the drawing board in 2023. I saw him doing vacuums. He did the ab training. He was posting on his Instagram all the time, and it got better. But it didn't reverse back to if you go back and look at 2021, the Chicago Pro, whatever show he won in 2020 to get to the Olympia.
2020.
He actually had a very good.
He won at Tampa.
He won Chicago in 2021 and then something else in 2020. Yeah, I think it was Tampa.
I thought he won at Tampa.
Yeah, he won the Tampa right
in
before
23 as well.
against,
I think he's won it twice
against Andrew.
Ian, wasn't it?
Ian, I think so.
Ooh, that does sound right. Yep.
But yeah, back then, his midsection wasn't wasn't like Hottie Chupin, but the thing is, all the abs were in. All the abs are in. Now the lower stomach is gone.
Of course, if you could see a picture of him, you bring a picture up of the Chicago or whatever it was. We might all be surprised how peeled he was.
I'll send you some exclusives.
I'd have to scroll for a long time to find Texas.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you can see the thing there.
Yeah. And once they have that hernia, it's
Josh, I sent you a very good comparison photo. I think the DMs are safe to open up. Oh wait, never mind. You seem to have sent me something inappropriate.
Oh, was it manhood?
Something
manhood
inappropriate
Canada?
to you?
It was the manhood.
Oh, those men that he was looking at earlier.
Yeah, that website. Okay. It was always not the best, and this isn't the best photo. I'll send another one. I'll send a better one. So we'll look at an actual abs and thighs here. I sent you an actual abs and thighs.
He's flexing that midsection, I think, the best now.
Yes.
The way he's flexing his midsection.
He's aware of it.
His arms at the Tampa were huge. Look at those big guns.
The lighting is just so much better, though.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
And there was no screen behind them. You guys notice that? When there's no screen, it doesn't eat away the light.
I'm back.
There he is.
Hey.
There's the man, the myth, the legend.
Look at the abs there at the 2021.
Yeah.
All of them are in.
Look at that.
It's not the best midsection of all time, but they're all in.
His lower
and then
abs.
At some point,
His lower abs.
Yeah, at some point the lower abs are just gone.
Yeah, looks good there.
Even the middle photo.
I still think it was his best version.
That's like the sharpest he's ever been.
It's the lighting, and I think it's the peak as well. The peak as well. Like this photo, it's from the professional photos on the NPC Online website. Night and day. If I had a better head-on angle of the iPhone footage, I would have used that because it's a night and day difference. So overall, I still think it's a net gain for 2024. I do think that was his best version on several aspects.
Texas, he was good.
He faded fast.
Well, that's
good at prejudging
because they could put them through the poses over and over and over and over and over.
It's part of it.
I know.
It's part of it.
I know.
Get good, son.
I know. That's
What do you think his
Lunsford
best
wins
was?
the Olympia.
Tampa or Texas?
Pardon?
Out of those two.
I
What was
like
his best?
Tampa, but I use pictures, and the pictures look the best because the lighting's the best. So
Yep.
if I'm using a
Exactly.
picture
Tampa
comparison,
in this-
I'm using Tampa.
Yeah.
I really don't think this version is getting a fair shake at all. Like
No, it
Josh,
ain't.
you just had that video footage.
The lighting sucks.
It's crazy.
The back shots are no good because when they lean back, they all go shadow. It all goes into a shadow.
Yeah, just take a look at again the peak with the fullness could have aided in more separation, but in terms of size gains and condition, he's never been better.
And I will say as well, like seeing this iPhone footage, you realize being there in person, it's like how much of it, like how much of an issue is the midsection? Because when you look at like when Phil Heath had an issue with his midsection, it was like distended far more than anything that Hunter's had going on. But it was like plus the issues that Hunter had, you know, in terms of the, you know, just the look of the actual abs. So Phil had the double factor, and obviously Phil's was much worse. So when you're there in person actually watching, I think the rest of Hunter's physique would actually shock people a lot. And I don't think it would be as big of a focus, but it is still, when you're talking about Olympia level top,
exactly,
6, 7,
it's quite
8,
the flaw to have.
It is a
There's
flaw.
going to be a similar physique with a better set of abs, so it's going to be like, okay, they're the same, but this guy's got better abs.
Yeah, everywhere I match him up, like I don't even want to do the comparisons. Like I matched him up against Andrew, and you guys know how I feel about Andrew. I'm like soggy glutes, no back.
I love
that flaw. It really holds Hunter back a lot. Like I had Andrew just narrowly winning in my own comparison, and that's with. Now I had Hunter as my personal winner just because, you know, I like the bodybuilding things, but I don't think he's going to place ahead of Andrew at this point in time.
18% of your fans think that Hunter will.
That's not a whole lot.
No,
that really is.
I seen your
It's
poll.
like 10 people.
Maybe it wasn't even 18%. I think it was less.
I think it was like single digits actually.
Wow.
Like I'm running cover for Hunter. I really
I
am
see
because
why
I don't
you're
think he's getting a
laughing.
fair shake.
I see why you're laughing.
No, Josh said because it's like 10 people.
I thought it was because of the poll.
It's a math thing.
No,
What's the
no,
conversion
no.
rate over there in Australia?
No, I was laughing because Josh. I said, what did I say? That's not that many people, and Josh said, yeah, because it's like 10. Because I said something about my fans. No, I thought that was hilarious.
It was a good bit. It was good. It was a.
I do like it that way. I'll turn myself down though.
I'm just bad about talking into this thing.
Output volume. Okay.
Unless
Is that
I'm
a little
doing
better?
like a voiceover.
I turned it down like a
Is
4.
that a little better?
I turned it up like a 4.
He just goes like this in the air.
No, I turned it on the Riverside thing. I turned out.
Tuning into Tokyo.
Yeah.
I think an interesting question is, where do you guys have Hunter placing, just in general at the Olympia? Are you okay?
6. Wow.
Hey, who
Are we
did you
gonna
have,
do predictions again?
No. Just Hunter.
Dennis James, he does them daily.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because you know why? Because he's going to eventually get one of these exactly right, and he's going to re-record them. So, look, guys, look, I got them all right. I got them all right. All 5.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he will, eventually. You're going to stumble on it.
Like you said, I think you said this, Mark. I think that was you. It's basically like, to me, Hunter, there's going to be so many, the competition is so thick that there's going to be a guy just as complete as Hunter, maybe even slightly less complete, slightly less small, but they're not going to have that stain. They're not going to have the abs. Like,
But look at Nick,
Andrew
though.
Jack. Martin is a good example. He's very complete, not going to be as big as Hunter for sure, but he actually has good shape, doesn't have the ab problem. So you have to wonder how. To me, in my personal judging, Martin would be first, but I think a guy like Martin should be placing ahead of Hunter on some metrics.
You're going to see the size difference.
There is going to be a massive one,
Because
for sure.
Hunter looks big compared to Nick. Structure, things of that.
Yeah, and then Martin is even thinner than Nick.
The abs, but he has some distension. That's like the opposite of.
He can reverse his. He can fix his problem for sure. Hunter, he's up shit creek without a paddle. I got to be honest. Like if it is a hernia thing and the whole sternum issue, whatever that may be, these are things that require medical intervention. We've seen someone like Nick Walker. His waist will never be the smallest, but like Rolly did something that Nick Walker can do with a simple waist trainer and ab training.
Yeah.
Like, in a downsized Nick Walker, would that really be the worst thing? I don't even think it needs to be that downsized, to be honest, but just.
He kind of needs to be big, I think.
Yeah,
I guess.
he needs to be freaky.
If he's not big and freaky, he's going to be. Derek
Well, he
Lunsford
gets
with
punished
that
for
shape.
both things, so he's between a rock and a hard place, He gets punished for
He
being
can't
too
be Derek
big.
without size.
Well,
Can't.
That's debatable.
If he's the same, if he goes down to get cut, he's basically Derek
Yeah.
Lunsford without shape.
Yep. I see what you're saying. With that, I do think he needs to play the size game to an extent, but he's got to do something about the waist. But I feel more hopeful about his than Hunter's. Because Hunter's isn't a waist issue, it's an ab issue.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the abs themselves, it's something a little more nefarious.
Nefarious.
A little more sinister.
Sounds evil.
Exactly. You know, there's something on the inside of him waiting to come out.
Excellent. Smithers.
Are you talking about me?
Mr.
Or
Burns.
Saunch? Is it me? Am I frozen?
Neither.
No.
Oh yeah, you were frozen a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry.
No, the
I
word
was
that he
dropping
used to
out, so
describe it.
I had no idea what was happening.
The word that he
Mark was talking about the word nefarious, because I use that word nefarious,
sounds like evil.
because it is sinister.
Mr.
Yeah,
Burns.
like it.
it's important we understand what the meaning of words are nowadays.
Someone called you like dumb on my comments for not knowing the word staunch. They said, "Oh, we can tell what type of education the other two guys have. They don't understand the word staunch."
Is it a
It's
smell?
not a common word.
No, that's a stench.
Oh.
And
Pungent.
then you were waving. You were waving like the queen.
It's he's wafting it.
Yeah,
He's wafting
she
it.
was our queen too, I guess. She's on all the
Wait, is
Queen.
Canada in the Commonwealth? No. Oh, yeah.
She's a moral leader at best.
A moral leader.
We don't have
Family
a queen.
touches kids.
We don't have a queen anymore. Whoa.
I'll leave it at that. sorry. That
I'm
you
living
have
in the
to bleep
woods.
that
I
out.
don't pay attention to the politics or the royal family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much over politics right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I got one
Josh,
thought.
you're
My wife.
a fellow American. Did you watch that debate?
Nope. Could care less. Yeah.
Oh.
I would spring up before I watch something like that.
You want to know what I'm really excited about?
World War III.
Arnold Classics, Mr. Olympias, the
Yeah.
UK Pro, Legion Sports.
I'm not excited for the UK Pro. I
France
gotta be
Pro.
honest.
I am.
I'm not excited about the Legion. I'm not even going to cover the Legion.
I'm not even going to
Well,
cover
I'm
it
not
either.
going to cover
After
it
I
on
heard what you guys
principle,
said.
but
For-
I'm
Yeah.
still like
For
excited
Xavier.
to see who wins.
Yeah, I need to mention like Brett competing, but yeah, I'm not obviously covering it because
No. I'm
gonna
I
ignore it.
had my
I'm going to
I
ignore
had
it.
my completely yeah. I had my preview as a strike on YouTube, so that scared the crap out of me because there was no footage in there. There was nothing. I didn't use anything apart from
Yep.
Legion,
Just a cash grab
Sports
by
Fest.
Chris.
Just the name.
Yeah,
And how is that?
and that
That's
to
helping
me
them.
scared me.
Ridiculous.
That's helping them.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Who runs this show?
It helps bodybuilding.
You could look it up. I'm not going to
I am looking this
dox
up.
him.
I am.
Who's more likely to rent a pay-per-view? Somebody that has seen a YouTube bodybuilding video or somebody that has not?
With a preview that mentions that there's a pay-per-view and that I'll
With-
get the
with the
details
link.
to you guys and all that sort of stuff.
With the sheer
probably-
mention of the show.
I probably put the link in the description as well, like because that's what I
I
try to
always
do
do,
most
yeah.
of the time. Sometimes when I do the previews, there's no obviously pay-per-view information and all that sort of
At the
stuff.
time,
and
yep.
I normally say as well, I'm doing it live and I'll post the pay-per-view in the description. You know, I try to put it out there. So I know
Does he
who,
not
what do we
know
have.
did he not know who you were?
I don't think they care.
He obviously would have known.
Well, I can see
not
it.
obviously known who I was, but he obviously just saw me and just I don't know, like I don't know.
If you're a promoter, you know. You should. I guess you don't have to be in bodybuilding to do.
Not,
to do.
not really,
If
because
you're a
there's
men's open promoter, you know.
You should.
Yeah, it's a lot of money you got to put into promoting.
Well, I think in reality, one of the most under... Oh, I don't want to say, wait. The most underappreciated thing, I think, in bodybuilding that pushes bodybuilding to be where it is now in terms of the excitement of it is YouTube channels and Instagram pages.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those two things, because there's no magazines anymore, so how are people getting their
Exactly.
news? Either following the athlete directly or through us, you know, what we sort of do. Like, I know, like, Dylan, you're doing heaps of good stuff on Instagram right now as well. Like, Mark, you've got, like, the comparison videos, which gets people excited about guys going against different guys and stuff like that. And I know, like, Sanch, like, you're doing this podcast now, plus You got the information out about Tonio not doing the Olympia, which made a news story, which gets people talking about the Olympia. Like, and the fact that it's not... look, I don't need to be appreciated. I don't think we need to be thanked and praised or anything like that.
It's
But
underrated in the value.
Yeah, you take away every bodybuilding YouTube channel and see what happens. See what happens. See
Exactly.
how popular bodybuilding
It's
continues
the only
to be.
medium there is. Like you said, it's like there's no magazines anymore. What else, bodybuilding would cease to exist as we in this day and age. Who's going to
IG, no
spend
YouTube.
$150 on a show? Who's going to go see a pro show in person for $150? No one is going to do that. Absolutely no one. But they will buy a pay-per-view for $20. And how will they know that if, exactly like you said, if you are so much more likely to be interested in buying the show if you watch a YouTube video. It's the demographics. So Center Podium, the people that run the Legion Sports Fest, apparently voted best NPC IFBB Pro promoter. Ridiculous. Get your things together. Get it together.
I think Chris gave himself that title.
Well, I think the thing is as well, in person, I hear he does a phenomenal job. I've heard actually great things. But what is that saying? Like, to cut off your hand to spite your... Cut off your head to spite your face. Whatever it is, to spite your face.
Cut off your nose to spite your face, yeah.
That's exactly right. Cut off your head to spite your face. That's... Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. So that saying is exactly what I mean. But, yeah, it's just... I don't know. It was just frustrating at the time. But it's not anything that I worry about now. But it's like Mark said, I'm not really interested in covering the show, which sucks because there's going to be some good guys there. So there's going to be Brett Wilkin. There's going to be, obviously Brett looks phenomenal too. Like his latest updates, we should launch into that. We should show those.
Yeah, it's on the list. Sure.
Cool. Yeah.
Was he one that dropped out of the Olympia last year?
Yes.
Yeah, for health.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had a lot of
Hey,
digestion issues.
That's right. He had a kid. He went and had a baby as well, I think.
Yeah, putting in the work.
See, RX Muscle is covering it. Shout out to
Cookie.
And I forgot the guy's name, but Cat is the
Just
photographer.
But Sid is the man. He's really funny on Instagram actually as well.
I like Sid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very good guy.
Yeah, his
I'm just so
muscles are
impressed.
looking quite muscly.
Now, we'll say obviously up close as well. Like, obviously he looked enormous there. Like, there I'm like, okay, he's an Olympia contender. But even standing back, like, he's still going to look really good. But is he the size of, like... because obviously we have a direct comparison. We have Brett Wilkin training with Martin Fitzwater, which is awesome to see. I think Martin might still be that sort of... Not to compare them, obviously, but Martin might be that, little bit level above still. But Brett, I think, is, sort
Absolutely.
of... just that little bit behind. But I mean, Martin, I'm considering him like a top 6 Olympia contender, contender to getting that first call out potentially. So if Brett's looking at all impressive next to Martin, that means Brett could be a guy that, in the future, like next year, is more than just top 10 in the Olympia. With an extra year, he could be pushing up to where Martin is as well potentially. So yeah, it's exciting for both these guys. And it's so cool to see two, potentially next year, top 10 or top 8 Olympians training together. It's like, we haven't seen a training duo like that for years now.
Yeah, it's two of the next generation of open bodybuilders,
Yeah,
like when
it's
we
so
were
cool.
watching Nick come up, and we were watching, who else,
Johnny Jackson and Branch Warren.
Wow, that's a couple generations ago at this point.
That's the last one I can think of, really. I'm
Good
sure
training
I'm
partner,
maybe missing.
them two guys. Branch had
Oh,
the
yeah, they
lag.
trained together.
He needed
Yeah,
lag.
Yeah,
He had the upper
Yeah.
body. Branch, he needed the upper
you
body.
walk
Yeah.
in and say to your partner, how can we get injured today? Sorry.
It's funny.
I shouldn't say that.
Fall off
When
a
they
horse.
train together, fall off a horse, slip on some ice.
You see him
funny,
fall off
it's-
that horse?
Yeah, that looked painful.
You never seen that, Dylan?
Is that how he got one of his injuries?
You really never seen him fly off that horse?
Oh, it was in the Pumping Iron, wasn't it?
The Generation.
Generation Iron.
Yeah.
So
No.
Dylan, let's give Dylan a lesson on Generation 9 and how that began. So Generation 9 was a movie. That's how Generation
Yes.
9 began. It was just a movie called Generation 9. That's where Branch fell off a horse. So after that movie came out, it was actually, I went to see it at the cinema. It was at the cinema. Like in Australia, there wasn't any viewings of it. Yeah, theatre. Do you not call it a cinema? Okay. So do you know?
Cinema does sound pretty fancy.
Yes, we know it.
I go to the Nickelodeon.
It's soda and pop. In Canada, we call it pop. You Yankees call it soda.
I call it pop.
Yeah, see, the same thing. And some of us call it soda, too.
In
So there was this
Australia,
movie.
we don't call it either. We call it. I don't know what we call it most of the time. We call like that
Did
sort
you
of
say Coke?
drink. We call it fizzy drink.
Fizzy drink.
Fizzy drink?
Yeah.
Fizzy bubbly.
You got a fizzy
Maybe
drink?
soda.
got a
Fizzy
Yeah.
drink, man.
We have a
Fizzy
lot
drink,
of British
that's
stuff.
insane.
Yeah, we're somewhere. We have our own stuff. We have British stuff, and then we have a bit of US stuff. So it's like we're a bit of a mix of everything. Yeah, like we have so many words for things. Like I sometimes when I say stuff, I go to say a certain word, but I'm like, that's too Australian. Like if I was to speak to one of my mates, I could say,
You're a bit
Like,
thick in
if
the head.
yeah, thick in the head. I don't know. You might say, I don't know, like I might call you like your underwear, your scrubs. You might call like a sausage or whatever a sanger. But you just know, like you'd have a barbecue, like I'll throw us a sanger, like you know what I mean, which basically means chuck some sausage and some bread and put some sauce on it and give it to me. Like,
Do they call coffee beer?
no, we don't.
What?
That's just that's just people that
They
drink
still
too
drink
much.
mead.
Do you remember that Simpsons episode, though, when Marge ordered a coffee?
I'll have
No?
a coffee,
No, I don't think so.
please.
And he says, beer it is.
No, coffee.
Beer.
C-O.
It's not hard. It's like Patty and Selma.
If they could do it for like a weightlifting video or something. I'll have a protein shake, please. Gear? No protein shake. Here it is.
You should make some with get someone to do an illustration of that. That would be awesome. I reckon that's something that could get like 500,000 or 1 million, probably more than 1 million views. You know.
Set it
They
up,
got
I'll
the
do the
reference.
voice.
Ooh, you'll do all the voices.
Have you seen that guy?
Live.
I don't know what his name is. I've just seen his videos pop up every now and then. And they've done like pretending to give birth and stuff like that, and they give birth to like it's like a little bottle of Tren. So they're like, oh, stuff like that. Like, I don't
Oh,
know.
is it that
no.
Aaron guy?
I don't know. I've just seen the videos. I'm like, what? Like they've said stuff in the gym as well. I'm like, I just think about that and them actually doing that skit in the gym, like certain skits in the gym. Like they're not
watching.
They're not pranking people. They're like actual like like things that they're doing, like a setup video that they're making.
Yep.
So it's not like a weird thing like that. But yeah, I always think about it if you're actually training in the gym at the time. They're taking up this huge area and they've got like literally a bottle of Tren. It's like what? I don't know. It's unusual.
Yeah.
You know, I remember this Australian show that would always pop up in my feed. I don't know what it's called. Is this it's a brown fellow? He's the guy. He's the main guy. It's a comedy, and then like his friend acts like his dad, but they're the same age.
Didn't you
And the
mention
dad
it
is
last
like-
time?
No.
There was a
And
show,
he acts like
a movie.
I think maybe movie, and he acts like foreign. He acts like he's like a Slavic dad, and he makes this weird face. And I don't,
Is it
I
the
don't,
Log Boy?
I don't know. I'll get
It's
to.
There's a movie. We've got a famous Australian movie called The Wog Boy, and it's like because in Australia, in like Melbourne particularly, or all across Australia, but in Melbourne you have a very big Greek community, and then you have a very big Italian community and things like that. So you've got a lot of that in Melbourne. So actually, it's a very multicultural city, Melbourne. A lot of like,
You know-
so you go to certain areas, it's like a lot of Asians, like even the
Super
stores,
Wog.
they've got Asian names. Oh,
Super Wog.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Is that a show or is that a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's like a YouTube channel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm in with the
Yeah.
kids in Australia. Is
Yeah.
that relevant?
It's relevant. I don't watch Super Wog myself, but I have. I was in a relationship.
My
with
nieces and
someone-
nephews do.
Well, with someone with a son who was 13, and he used to stream his stuff and just be wetting himself laughing, and he's just like, "Look at this! Look at this! Look at this!" And just like wetting himself. So yeah, I'm familiar with Super Wog. You would probably
They
like.
gave me that 2012 Smosh vibes. You know, when they used to be popular.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. Skits. You know.
I'm sure you would really like. There's a show that I used to watch when I was in. When I was trying to think when it originally came out, but probably I would say like late primary school, early high school, so like grade 6, 7, 8, 9, that sort of time. There's a show called Fat Pizza, and Lee Priest has actually been on it as well. So, this is a show I used to watch. I think Lee Priest was on it when I was more in my 20s, and then he's been on shows with this same guy who makes the show Sense as well. And yeah, it's sort of like Super Wog a little bit. It's like a cross between the Wog Boy and Super Wog. Like, I think you'd enjoy it if you look up Fat Pizza. Use a VPN, maybe you might need to. You can find episodes of that online. It's pretty funny, and you can find the episodes of Lee Priest too. He's on a new TV show. Oh, what's it called?
I've seen it. I don't know what it's called,
Council,
but he's
local council or city council.
And he's like what, a cop or something?
He's a parking inspector.
That's even better. That's
made
even
by
better.
the same guy. Made by the same guy though. So Fat Pizza was like back in the day. That was huge though. Like everyone in Australia knew that show. So yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
But anyway.
I've seen Baywatch Australia.
UK.
I think that was
Baywatch. Yeah, Baywatch was I actually lived. So when I was living in New South Wales for a little bit, not too far from Lee Priest, I was, in terms of distance, I was not far at all from where Baywatch was actually filmed.
cool.
Because I think it's called, what's it called? I'm trying to think what the actual beach is called. But I could actually drive maybe 20-something minutes and then get on a ferry, which goes sort of straight over to there. So it's like a half-an-hour ferry or 40-minute ferry or something like that. So, yeah.
See
Cool
David
spot.
Hasselhoff.
No, not Baywatch. I'm talking about, there's a show called Home and Away here. Not Baywatch.
Is it like Baywatch? Like Baywatch Australia at one point, but then they
Yeah,
they were-
that's something like that. Home
they
and
were
Away is
gonna-
like it was 5 days a week. It was like half-an-hour show, 5 days a week, like a drama sort of thing. But that's popular international. People know that sort of show internationally. Like it's watched a lot in the UK and in New Zealand and stuff like that. So, and actually, I went on. This was like part of a radio thing. So it was like a national radio show with two guys that are comedians. I think you can even find it online maybe. And a woman that was on that show, Home and Away, she's on there for 26 years in a row. So from when she was like a little girl to when she grew up. So she's really like well known in Australia. So I went on a radio show and took her on in a game, and it was to win $1,000 and then like a new Samsung Galaxy or something like that. And then if I lost, I just got the Samsung Galaxy. I lost on the last question. It was 2-2. She beat me. Shame.
That is
National
a shame.
radio.
Did you get the phone?
Yeah, I got my phone and sold it straight away for like $700. So it's pretty good.
Nice.
Profit. All
Yeah,
right.
It's brand new.
All right.
I would have liked $1,000 as well, but I cannot be greedy. I got a phone
Yeah.
for free. But I was crapping myself though. I was so nervous on that because I knew this was going out to, prime time, like maybe 4:30, 5 p.m. like national radio show, like on a channel called Nova, which I think is the most listened to in Australia as well. So I was like, yeah, I think I had like a shot of vodka before I went on there, and it just did nothing. I was so nervous.
Shot
It just
for courage.
Yeah. I literally took it in the car. I'm like, well, I won't be over the limit if I have this. So, bottoms up, did nothing. I probably just felt like an alcoholic going in there after that. Like, this guy's got a
Probably,
drink.
yeah.
Liquor under his breath.
He seems nervous. Good times.
Great tastes.
So
at
UK.
McDonald's. You guys don't know the rest of that? Great times. Great
Oh,
tastes
taste.
at
I
McDonald's.
thought it was.
No.
Or-
Yeah, we have.
no. There's at Macca's. Macca's. You guys want to head down and on the trolley and go get some Macca's?
Yeah. Macca's,
Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Is that what you say?
We used to go through Macca's drive-through on the way home from like a night of drinking. We had one cab driver. So we would, when we're 20 or 21 or whatever, however old we were,
Dylan's age.
we'd go out drinking. Sorry?
Dylan's
Yeah,
age.
well, I had friends and I went out drinking. I don't know, Dylan, if you're familiar with these things.
Do you understand drinking?
No, but go on.
Well, the legal drinking age here, by the way, is 18, so we can drink much younger. And then, by nature, a lot of people start drinking before the legal age, so it's like,
Yes.
kids drinking.
That's great.
But yeah, such is life. But anyway, we would often, because I lived actually quite close to a McDonald's, we would go get the cab driver to go through the McDonald's drive-through. I don't know if you guys do that in America, if that's like a done thing, but we do that all the time. And we had one cab driver, and so we got a whole bunch of Maccas. We had, two of my friends. I think I was in the back of the car, and and the cab. He went around the corner and all our drinks. You know how you have those drink stacks? So we had, I think, 3 drinks in there or 4 drinks in there. And he went around the corner, it started to tip over, and he went to save it. So he had his hand on the steering wheel, so he reached out with his arm, and he just, forgot he was driving. He went up onto the footpath, and it was a really wide footpath, it's like one of those, bike ones. So he was up on there, and with 2 wheels up on it, and then he's just going, this is an interesting way to drive, boys. And because he just sort of wanted to be, friends with us, the cab driver.
Yeah.
Maybe he was nipping.
And he goes, this is an interesting... yeah, he probably was. And he goes, this is an interesting way to drive, boys. And as he was saying that, a police car drove past the other way, and we're just like, this bloke's done. He was just driving along, I don't know, 35, 40 miles an hour or whatever up on the footpath, and we're just like, he's done. The police car just didn't even turn around. It's like that cop, whatever they were doing, they're just like, just leave him. Just don't worry about it. He's a cab. He didn't mean to. But yeah, it was hilarious. Anyway, he saved the drinks, so it was worth it. We didn't die too. Great success. Do you know Australia started the McCafe? I don't know if you have the McCafe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Does America have the McCafe?
It's part of McDonald's, though. It's not like a standalone thing.
Yeah. We started it like 15 years ago or something. We've had that for...
Oh.
Yeah. Apparently it grew out from Australia. Well, one thing that we made.
Pretty cool.
And the dingo.
I love their iced coffee.
Maybe
No
the
sugar.
dingo ate your baby. Sorry.
Oh, that was from an awful movie.
Quigley.
No, that's from
a
Seinfeld.
great movie.
No, Seinfeld said it because of the awful movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You never
Was
know
that
there
about
was
the
a movie? Because
Oh, was that about... I know the story
he
about
never-
the dingo eating the baby and stuff.
Yeah, that's why Elaine said it, because there was that whole
Yeah.
movie. They thought that they actually killed their kid because they've
Yeah,
never
that
once
was a big
ever seen a dingo eat a person, and then finally a dingo killed another kid years later. And
Yeah,
then
thank God, finally.
They they reopened.
Waiting on something to happen.
The woman was in prison all this time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I know.
For nothing.
I think she...
Imagine
she
that your
was,
baby
or she's
gets
even-
killed, and then they throw you in jail too.
Yeah.
But
It's
her
wild.
lawyers were telling her when you walk out, when all the cameras and stuff, they said if you look like you're sad or anything like that, they told her to smile and stuff, and that ruined her.
Yeah.
They were telling her
That's
to
the wild
smile
thing.
and stuff, and they were like, "You idiots! Why would you tell her to do that?" Because the public, they did this big public poll, and it was like
Part of the dingo lobby.
90% people thought that she killed her kid.
I haven't watched a
They believe the
documentary on it
animal.
in ages, but...
What's that?
I just said I haven't watched a documentary in ages on it, but there used to be a lot of shows on it here. We've got 60 Minutes here, which is
Yep.
what is it? What would you call that show? But
60
yeah,
minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I think most people know what 60 Minutes is. I was trying to think of is that a
60 Minutes.
It's not a drama TV show. It's a
Oh, it's like a
not
it's
really.
like a
It's
docu-series, interviewing
Yeah.
docu-series.
docu-series style. Yeah. So yeah. So I've seen stuff on it, shows like that here in Australia, and obviously because it's from here, everyone sort of knows the story. But yeah, there's actually a story. There's quite a lot of sort of famous murder stories here. I think I don't know if they. I suppose you hear so many from America, but there's not really that many. But when I hear
Yeah.
Australian stories reported by American TV stations and stuff, and then I hear them here, I'm like, oh, that's pretty big then. You sort of realise it's come out from Australia. But yeah, there's one with this guy called Ivan Milat, and he would just find random people just in the bush, and just I don't know if he tried to get lifts off them or whatever, and then just be like, yep, you're mine. And then the family just tried to defend him and everything. I'm like, this is all playing out in the media. I don't know, that stuff like that is insane. There's actually one series which I think everyone would love. It's called Underbelly, and it's about the Melbourne gangland murders. And the first murder actually happened, I think it was only maybe 5 to 10 minutes from my house, and that was the first murder of the gangland murders.
Wow.
And it was
That's interesting.
And then that triggered 30-something murders over however many years, and it was...
Wow.
They were actually interviewing some of these guys that are involved in it that eventually did get killed, on radio stations, and they're like, "Nah, I've got nothing to do with it," or whatever, or they say, "Nah, they're they have court dates coming up," and they're talking on the radio, and people are hearing it and going, "We know you're involved in this," but they just didn't have enough to put them away at that stage, and so they're doing interviews on the radio, and it's just it's crazy to listen back to that sort of audio now. But yeah, the series Underbelly, it's super, super cool. You guys would definitely like it. So
Belly.
yes.
There's some crazy
actually-
stories. Crazy stories.
Yeah. There's some insane ones out there. Yeah. And being here
You
as
guys
well,
ever
you always
heard,
like hear a little bit extra. Sorry.
And I know this is going to get Dylan to say, oh my God, look who he mentioned. But John Holmes, you guys know who John Holmes is?
No.
Oh, nobody
John
knows
Holmes?
who John Holmes is? He was a
name rings a
porn
bell.
star. He was hung like a horse.
Oh,
How do you know?
You guys don't remember
the
that?
name rings a bell.
It was back in the
Rings a bell.
80s.
I'd have to see his face.
There was,
I'd have to see his penis.
Yeah, well, actually,
I've seen Bell.
he got
bell end.
like hooked up with some mafia or some sort of like mob style thing, and it ended up in a big shootout with like 90 cops or whatever. And there was like, no, it was a bad. Yeah, it was. I never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I don't actually know
don't
the
know
guy.
What a
that
legend.
stuff, but it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
What a legend. You acted like I would know.
They say he was.
They say I have verified that he in fact was hung like a horse.
Hey, Mark, I like every time you went to do the measurement, you went like this, and then you went like a throwing.
Now
That's how we
that I
measure.
think about it.
We catch a fish here in Canada. Yeah, it was this big. The other guy says, mine was this big. Well, yeah, well, have you looked at my fingers lately?
I like it. Where were we? What were we talking about?
UK. we were talking about the
Do you have the
Legion.
list?
Yeah.
I have the list right here.
Mark, you didn't put it on your Instagram, so I got to pull it up from
Oh, no, I don't
Daniel's.
have the list. I thought you were talking about the Italy Pro.
Oh no. Yeah, we already talked about that.
So when did this list come
This
out?
is a tough one.
It's actually
4 days
Europa
ago.
Pro.
Because I haven't even seen this yet.
Now, is this the France one or is this the UK one?
No, it's
UK.
Europa. Europa's UK.
Okay.
Europa is
Why they
okay.
call it the? Yeah, well, they're calling it the Europa Pro. It's done by the same people. It's going to have the same stage thing.
Blue. Everything's blue.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
the same motif. It'll have the Europa Pro in the background. It is the Europa Pro in the UK for some reason.
Was this done by the same people that did the original Europa a couple of years ago? Because I don't think
the
it is.
Dallas?
Because this is by the Two Bros Pros, and I don't think they did the
Yeah.
one that James Hollins had one. I don't think
James
so.
Collins said 1-1. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
But that was in Spain, I believe, wasn't it?
And then
I
Nick
think-
took that and ran with it.
And then they did the British Grand Prix right after that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and that was by the Two Bros Pro. So why are they now calling it the Europa? Because I thought this was going to be called the UK Pro. I didn't think it was the Europa.
It is on the website, but it is like the banner and things. It's the Europa Pro. It's the-
Europe.
yeah. I mean, what a show. I mean, last show of the season. It's never going to be that good.
I think there's some decent guys in there.
Bruno
Competitive.
Santos looks good, man.
Yeah, because you got Bruno Santos.
He looks
You've
like
got
you,
Andrea
Xavier.
Presti.
Yep.
Bruno Santos?
Yeah. I think it's
I'm
him.
way too skinny right now.
Or maybe it's Lorenzo.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe Lorenzo that you were
Yeah.
pointing out.
Well, one of them
earlier.
guys looks like you.
I used to get Antoine Vaillant. I used to get that a lot.
The Canadian Frenchman, huh? Patrick Moore
Oh,
being
you-
in this is exciting, though.
Yeah, I'm excited to
That
see.
makes me want to watch it less.
No, it doesn't. You want to
What?
see him.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Do you know who
I know
I'm?
you.
Do you know who I'm excited to see in the 212?
Oh, let me.
The
Metal
Metal
Man.
Man.
Who?
Metalman, yeah. He's going to be
Jose,
better. How do you say it? Is it
Is he doing
Metalman or
Metal Man's doing this
Metalman?
show?
Yes.
Yeah, 212.
I'm more
I'm
excited
excited.
about that than the Open.
He's got a nice wife.
He's got a nice wife.
That's so true. You said the same thing about Antoine Vaillant too.
Oh
She's
no,
pregnant
no,
now.
no! I've mentioned Metal Man's wife many times on my videos.
No, you're right. I mentioned Antoine's wife. I did because I heard your video. And I was like, and then I said Antoine's wife question mark.
I've been
Antoine's wife's
consistent.
awesome.
Shit.
His life or his wife?
Are you saying his
Both.
wife or his
Both.
life?
Both.
His wife.
His wife. Yeah, I'm saying wife too.
Oh, okay, okay.
How do you say wife in Australia?
Metal Man win best.
Mrs.
best.
Yeah, there
Best
you go.
wife. Josh,
Mizzo.
pull up a picture of this guy's wife.
No, no.
I don't think it's
I'll
tagged.
get down to the bottom of this.
Just leave her out of this.
Yeah.
You go to her thing.
gonna say
you go to her
anything.
thing. It says followed by Marksman.
Sunny Warcloud.
Sonny Ward. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, he looks really impressive. I think it's a great move from Classic for
Now,
him.
he did jump into a 212 at one point because he didn't make weight, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. So he didn't really train for 212.
So this
Fair.
is his like unofficial debut.
Did he not? I thought he competed at the Romania or something.
Europa.
I know he did. He won the classic at Romania, but I believe he's done it multiple times. But maybe it was just
I thought
classic.
he
I,
just
can't remember.
recently did one in 212.
Did
I
he
don't
try to
think
put
so.
like a wig on to like
No.
make height?
No,
He might have. He might have.
I thought that was
can't-
somebody else.
I can't say, but
Wasn't that
I can't
someone
remember him
else?
doing 212.
Oh no, that was I know who it was. Never mind.
What's
Yeah,
this guy's real
I think
name?
he's
Metal
gonna be
Man,
really
real
impressive.
Jose,
Jose?
Marie Met
Name.
Bebri.
Jose Berry, or
Jose Maria
Berry.
Mete Bebri. Bibri. Apparently,
There's
I
his
looked
wife.
up how to pronounce his last name.
His
His last name is pronounced Bibri.
Oh yeah.
Bibri.
Yep. You guys are
It's my
animals.
wife.
It's my wife.
It'd be really funny if he sees
She's
this and he's
nice.
like, keep my wife's name out of your mouth, you animals.
Yeah. No, it's obviously complimentary.
Yeah.
Of course.
I keep the dirty
Yeah,
remarks
Rod
for my
Slot's gonna be
videos.
the challenger here.
Any complaints
Bratislava,
refer to
Angela.
Mark's
Is he
Max Muscle.
I don't know when's the last time he competed. Did he do Dubai?
No, you're thinking of somebody else.
Oh, my bad.
My bad.
Eastern
he
Europe,
competed
the Eastern
fairly
Bloc
recently,
fellas
this guy.
sometimes get mixed up.
Yeah,
You're thinking of
I know
the guy that
exactly.
looks like Angel.
I know exactly who you guys are both thinking of.
Nasser? Is that his name?
Al
Nasser
Saeed.
Mohammed.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Some of these 212
Yeah,
guys are like spitting images of each other.
I know.
It's really difficult.
Like, even this guy, like, to the untrained eye, could look like Angel to some. Like, if I saw these two back far away in the last row, I'd be like, you know what? Is that Angel? Especially if Angel wasn't right next to him, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe that is Angel.
Nasser's a little bit bigger than this guy, I believe.
Nasser looks more like Angel.
How do you think all these like NASA guys and stuff like that would do in the open? Because there's sometimes
You
there's
don't know.
some 212 shows. Like New York, the 212 is
Angel
low
didn't
key
do very
underrated. Low key
I agree.
underrated. That was
I
a
agree.
stacked 212 show. Like my friend who comes on my podcast, Aaron Pilates, like he maybe wasn't his very best, but he was ninth. He got ninth in the Olympia and beat Angel however many years ago in 2019.
Yeah.
So it's like, and he wasn't that, like, I don't know, like he looked pretty close to that. So it was like, he was a stacked 212. So
212's good.
yeah, it can be.
I
Like,
prefer
it's just
212 over
depends
men's physique.
on
I know a
which
lot
one.
of people are like, I love men's physique. They're like, the board shorts. Ha! When they
physique.
put the flames on the board shorts.
I thought you meant classic.
I prefer 212.
physique.
No.
Do you like classic more?
I
than
may
212?
ooh. Classic right now just isn't interesting to me.
You don't think so?
I
It
like
just
it.
given right now,
Oh
it's
no,
just like
not your comment. I don't like your comment. Classic is amazing.
it is, but I just don't agree with a lot of the things. And you know, the placings like that, we've had the same top 5 for 3 years,
Well,
give or take,
give or
given
take.
like one placing.
That's kind of
And
par for the course, though. So really,
yeah, but I just feel like open is maybe a little more dynamic. I think like the new classic guys are there, but they haven't elevated themselves yet to start really making it interesting. While the new guys, the new open guys, are there, but now they're all very competitive with each other.
Rizz
I
is
didn't
growing
think
his
it's
hair
not that-
out, dyed it up, blonde.
Gross.
Hers, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
love
like his
Urs,
hair
but I
like
don't
that?
love his hair.
You don't like the
It's,
hair?
I don't like his
bold.
physique.
Eats Bumstead for that terrible video that he put out. I really do. I'm not even. I'm
Mark's raging right now.
gonna predict him 5th, to tell you the truth. Foolishness.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Jim Thark story was meh.
Yeah, I mean, I
Daddy's
woke up in the middle of the night
home.
for it.
Don't even say it.
And it was like, what, 10 seconds?
I mean, there was some people online that were savage. I saw one guy like comment
Savage.
savage. I'm like, he's going way too far. This guy, I'm like, just it was extreme.
I love those types of comments.
He didn't like
So,
the
oh,
video, the Bumstead video either.
No, no, he didn't like it. I didn't like it either. It was annoying because I woke up in the middle of the night, and I said that this has to be something more than like a new product or a new line or something like that.
Yeah, you said it's got to be like Nike or something.
Yeah, I said otherwise he's going to get blowback. What happened?
He wasn't scared of it, I guess.
Yeah,
It
and
won.
the problem,
He played
the
you
problem
guys and he
was-
won.
Not me.
Yeah, he
Chicarello, maybe.
he or his team had to reverse engineer it, like from our perspective, because any of us know that's a bad move. Just PR wise, you know what I mean? I don't think Chris Bumstead's an absolute asshole now, and he only.
No.
I've seen some people say he only cares about money and stuff. I'm like, yeah, he's business driven. So what? You know, it's like,
What else is there to care about? What else is there possibly to care about in the world?
Love.
Don't
He has
be.
that. And
Don't
he's
be.
a brand new dad.
Yeah.
What else do you need to do, you know?
Love
Please.
is the most important part of the human experience.
I agree.
Oh, that's.
I agree.
It can be. It's like a leg of a chair. It can still balance if you take that off, but if you don't have the bag up, that's like taking 2 legs off the chair.
If you don't have the bag up, it's like taking all 2 legs off the chair.
Like money, the bag.
Yes,
Oh,
if you
okay.
don't have the money.
Money?
What?
Love.
Love for money?
Love
Oh,
for money.
no.
Give me a 50
No,
and
I
watch
don't.
me smile.
Is that love?
Purchase with it or love.
I don't love the products I can purchase.
Freedom. You can purchase
can't-
freedom.
Where are you going to buy freedom?
Well, you don't have to go to work every day, I mean.
Okay.
I used to have to dig ditches
Unless you
every day.
love work.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think you people live in an idealistic world and need to grow up.
Well, don't we all? Don't we all?
But
Please.
you were saying something. What were you saying? The rest of your thought about C-Bum?
Was it me? Who was talking about it?
Yeah, you were saying
You, David,
like his team had to reverse engineer
Yeah, they had
the
to reverse
announcement.
engineer.
Oh yeah, they had to reverse engineer how this was going to play out, because if you're putting this out, you have to go, okay, once I drop, okay, I'm giving a 3-day or 4-day or whatever it was hype up. So people are going to go, what's the announcement? What's the announcement? What's the announcement? So they're going to expect something decent enough.
Yep.
For you to say you have ownership in a company and you're going back and you're going to be wearing their stuff, does anyone
So lame.
care
It sucks.
that much for an announcement? And you know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I feel like if I was him and I'm like, saw all this hype about it, I'd go, we need something else. I need to do an open show, or I need to do something
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm doing a free, massive seminar where I'm getting
Like
people
pop-up
to ask.
shop or something.
I would add something to it and say post Olympia, the day after I'm doing this big thing, and you know, and even if he said like, hey, it's free for everyone, but if you buy a product, you get a chance to, we're going to fly you over here and you're going to get the chance to train with me and we'll do a whole video on it. Or so I would add something like that, because if I saw how hyped people were and then I delivered that, you know you're going to get a blowback.
I think the hype is what shot him in the foot there. He should have
The
just
hype.
made it. Yeah, like he didn't need to wait 3 days. Like it could have
Yeah,
been
if there's an
done the
announcement
day
coming-
it was finalized. Yeah,
Yeah. In 1 hour or 2
It-
hours. And then he did it. It
Did
wouldn't be
anyone
as
make the
he
quick.
could have just
Connection with-
posted the reel.
Did anyone make the connection with him and Kai Green? You guys remember Kai's announcement back in the day?
No.
The announcement that's going to change bodybuilding as we know it.
Wait, what was that? I'm trying to remember.
And then he
What
came
was
out
the
with a Redcon 1.
Was he already?
Oh,
he was
yeah,
already.
yeah.
He was not even competing then, if I'm not
No.
mistaken. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, very similar, yeah.
That's really funny.
I
lot of
literally
people said he was
commented
gonna
on it. I was
announce
like,
his
he's going to
retirement.
sign with Redcon.
I heard some rumors.
Really?
About Kai
About like Chris
or-
going to a different company?
Well, no, not that he's going to a different company.
I was
No,
like,
it was
he
about
owns Raw. I
about
think.
Sebum. About Sebum. I thought that. Look, I didn't think that he's going to actually retire, but you know, with the level of the announcement and stuff like that, and I did hear there's probably people trolling, like people messaged Dave and stuff like that, and who knows, I don't know what the whole deal was, but he even said afterwards, like, yeah, we had people messaging about, you know, that potentially his health or injuries and stuff like that could keep him out of this year's Olympia. But then I seen the videos of him training for it. I'm like, well, it's a pretty good disguise, and he's looking insane if he's pulling out, you know. So
Looking big, actually.
I didn't really think
Yeah.
that was going to happen, but I was like, It seems,
no, I definitely didn't think he was going to get out, drop out. And he's so focused on health. I'm like, he's not going to do the Open.
No.
So it's like, what was the announcement? I was 100% sure it was going to be either like a product or some kind of like brand thing. And ta-da.
It was drawn out. That's the problem. If it was a 2-hour gap, like I don't think you would have copped hardly any blowback because people were going, "Ooh, what is it?" Not much time to hype it up. Who is the best BB would have posted it. Probably a couple of you guys would have posted it on IG. We wouldn't have had enough time to make videos going, "What's his announcement?" Because Nick Strength and Power did it. Everyone did it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Just you got to reverse engineer those things from a PR standpoint. Sometimes I think just like you think CBum would have like a PR manager in general now at this point.
He has
just
to. He's got to have like
run
his own
something
like
by
mat
someone.
or something.
Yeah.
But UK, Patrick versus what? Patrick versus
Andrea Presti. Presti wins.
Yeah, Presti. You think? Yeah.
Bruno's there.
Bruno could be in that mix. But what does Patrick need to bring to win?
Some size.
A different physique.
Somebody else's physique.
Yeah, if he showed up like
Not very nice.
Some thickness.
It's not very. That's not what I call constructive criticism.
well, can we see Patrick? I don't think we've talked about him in depth yet.
I think he looks pretty damn good, Dylan. I think you're being a little harsh.
His arms look pretty huge.
They always were. They were always great.
Yeah.
I could see Presti. I mean, I can see that going really either way because they both have pretty big gaps. I think. What's his name? Patrick has better legs than Presti, better quads actually, even though they're both not that stellar. But Presti's quads are like really narrow. No sweeps.
None.
Patrick has some sweeps. None. Zero. They're
Patrick looks
concave.
pretty good.
It's pretty.
Need to see the legs though, like you said.
Yeah.
Does he even show the legs though? I don't think so.
He competed at the Arnold, right?
Well,
Just
competed. Strong word, but
No,
yeah,
up.
he was at the Arnold.
2 years ago.
Man, Dylan, you're going for the throat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My
Sorry.
composure.
I've never competed at the Arnold. Okay, I don't even get on stage.
think he's gonna
Patrick and
show
I
the
just
legs.
have beef. We don't really.
There's
But I'm gonna start some.
2019. Now there was a version.
I don't know if it's the show where he qualified for this Olympia or
Cali.
Was that the Cali? Yeah.
Cali,
So
yeah.
that Cali pro, I believe it was against Tim Budesheim. I thought he looked really, really good there. He was almost like a fuller version of this without being quite as hard. But that was another really good version of Patrick. But I think his two best versions so far have been those two shows, like the Olympia 2019 and then also the Cali Pro.
And then he hasn't even gotten close, quite frankly. And I'm not trying to be mean with that. It's like I think that's an objective fact. He just hasn't been able to crack that code as well as he did that year.
What do you think about his Cali appearance? I think it was 2 years after that, maybe like 2021, was it, or 2022?
Did
Respectfully,
he win? He went against.
I can't think of
somebody.
it.
He won
He won
against
against- The guy that just competed at the Arnold, or Arnold UK. And I thought Patrick beat him.
just competed at the Arnold UK. That was a little bit ago.
He did. Or maybe he competed.
Antoine?
No.
He didn't do the Arnold UK, did he?
Egyptian guy, I believe.
Shaban.
Mo Shaban.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it was Mo. Yep.
Yes, because he also did that other show.
God,
was
Mark,
it
you're so good at what you do.
Chicago? No, it was was it there?
I had to finish it.
There, I know more than Mark.
I had to finish it.
Get them all
Mark,
written
you're
down
so
right
smart.
here, flipping through.
I love you, Mark.
We all do.
Oh, I think I should bring up what we were talking about before because I don't think the camera's rolling. But Mark said something that kind of changed my perspective on a lot of these guys. These guys that we're always comparing them to a past version, and like it'll be literally 5 years removed for Patrick since this like groundbreaking version, and we're still waiting
Young
for
blood.
it. He brought this up with Justin Rodriguez because Justin Rodriguez keeps competing, so we always talk about him. But I was always like, if he can just bring this version, and Mark said something like, that version is what I said, it's an outlier of their own trajectory, right? So their trajectory may be up, and their line of good shows are around this line. But then you have one that's an offshoot of that, and sometimes some are really bad. But in Justin's case and Patrick's case, they've had one or two good ones. But it's like a situation where clearly the stars have aligned, and it's not even fair to compare them against that own version. Are they still capable of that version? Sure, but like it's like obviously a lot had to go right for that to happen, and they cannot replicate that for the life of them, because if they could, they would. So I think it's a bit unfair to compare them to like Patrick to 2019, because is he that good? I mean, he is capable. That version is still in him. Maybe not now because he's had injuries and whatnot, but that version was still in him. But it's like it's so tucked deep inside. It's like you have to go through multiple doors, unlock all these things, jump through hoops to get there.
Sounds like a sick game. To unlock all these doors, go through all these hoops.
Inside another person's body as well.
Is there a key?
Yes.
No key.
Oh,
Dylan
there's
is
a
the
key.
key.
That's
The key is inside yourself. Or inside Patrick.
And he's going to find that key this weekend on Monday
When I'm saying the key is
Night
inside
Raw.
yourself, it sounds like it's like part of a Saw movie. The key is behind your eye.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, dig it out.
Had the key all along.
Anyway,
I think he can win against Presti.
Good points on Patrick Moore, by the way. Sorry to
Yeah.
take that off.
And I don't even mean that like in a derogatory way. I just think like obviously that 2019 version was so good. Everyone thought he was the next big thing. He called himself the future, but like obviously it's too hard for even him, the guy that brought the physique, to replicate it. And I know it's hard work to replicate a physique to begin with, but he's competed so much that I'm dubious of the fact that he's not been able to replicate it at all. And now that he's had like one of the worst injuries there is, like an Achilles tear, and the quads are already not the strongest and they've just gotten worse, it's not that good. It's not a good thing. Thankfully, he's going against Presti here, who has even worse legs, in my opinion. Even worse quads, at least. I'd have to see them from the back. But Andrea is very wide. A lot wider than Patrick in the upper body, and probably a lot bigger as
Patrick's
well.
got a decent-
Patrick maybe a little more compete.
Patrick's got a decent.
Patrick's pretty
clavicle
wide.
width.
I think it's
Patrick's
because
wide.
of
He's
legs.
shorter though, is he not?
He's not that tall.
Yeah.
He's not. I thought he was like 6 feet tall after the Olympia, and he's not even close.
It's like 5'7".
No.
5'8",
Patrick?
maybe 5'8".
I think
Give him
Presti
5'8",
will be
he's got tall hair.
Presti and also Patrick. They have very similar strengths in terms of their shoulder width, and then
Yep.
also their leg size. You know what I mean? So it's like they have similar sort of leg size, similar sort of shoulder width. Presti's taller. Does Patrick have the muscle and maybe conditioning over him and maybe prettiness in a way?
Yeah,
The conditioning that he's struggling with too.
He won't beat Presti in condition.
Like this was
Yeah,
2023,
I
and I
don't-
remember specifically like the legs are obviously a lot better than Presti's. I even prefer his upper body, but that condition is not where it needs to be. And I don't think it was there from the back
this
either.
beat Presti?
No. I mean, this
don't
pose
think so.
does, but not altogether.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
stage, I don't.
Presti's
I
too
think
sharp.
Presti. Imagine Presti next to that, looking taller with that front, that most muscular he's got. It's pretty impressive. Like his shoulders are really, really wide on that. So, I
Is
think
there nobody else?
Yeah.
Is there a? Will there be a third?
No, there's
guy?
more guys in there. There's Bruno. There's
Aside from that, though,
there's a few
Lorenzo.
is Lorenzo doing it too?
Yeah, Lorenzo. Is
The Virgin.
Kokini in there?
Josh Malley, big tall guy.
Lewis
I don't
Breed.
see him now.
Lewis
Lewis
Breed.
Breed
that's
is there,
true.
yeah.
Lewis Breed.
That's true. Lewis Breed could win.
Lewis
Ali
Breed.
Edward. Enrico Hoffman.
Lewis
See, there's
Breed
good guys
could win
in here.
this one, guys. He's the
Lewis
side
Breed
box.
can absolutely win this one.
Mo Ensor has been to the Olympia in the Open.
Yeah,
many people-
I recognize that name.
Yeah,
What?
Mo
Mo-
Ensor.
I always
No,
said
like
Nasur. Oh, he
Nasur?
won the KO Squad
Oh
Pro,
yes,
right?
yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
Respectfully, I remember seeing his
I do
face,
remember
but
this
like
guy.
I didn't. I was like, one of those because they had so many call-outs at the 2022 Olympia. It's like,
It's like a bunch of roses. It's like you're going to remember every single one and what it looked like, you know?
Yeah,
Sure.
remember
I'm
that guy.
pretty sure I remember him in like the very last
Wasn't
call
a
out
very good
next
analogy.
to
The Olympia
nothing
that
against the
everybody
guy.
went
He looked
to.
amazing.
yeah, so true.
But you always got to think of like who he was next to.
Yeah, the show he qualified in that
Qualified.
one, he looked his
Sung
best.
Fu Lee and Subasa. I can't say his name.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Sibuisu or whatever his name was.
That's-
Sibu Sisu Cotello.
Yeah,
we gotta
Nick
we
Miller
have
was
to
hyping
I
him up
interviewed
for a
him. He's a
while.
really
exactly. We have to have like a graveyard for people that didn't live up to, that had decent careers, that still have decent careers, but Nick hyped them up like they were just going to be the next best thing. And obviously, like if you can't live up to those expectations, everyone thinks you're a loser, but you're not. You're definitely not. You've had good careers, but Nick will just hype some people up like astronomically. And I hate that for these guys that don't.
Yeah, it's nothing against Nick. It's just like it's just
Nick
kind of
can
crappy
power?
if you can't
Yes.
follow it up. You know.
Okay, like think of who would be in that list. James Hollingshead was supposed to be top 6
Oh.
of the Olympia.
Ian Valier.
Brett Wilkin was
Hey, he's
supposed
not
to like.
done yet.
Brett
I'm not
is
saying
still
he is.
fresh.
That's what
I
no,
think
I'm not
the
saying he
guys
is.
that are, I think James might be.
No, guys that Nick has hyped up that clearly were either too premature or just never could make it, right? So Brett Wilkins is supposed to win the 2022 Arnold Classic, or something, do something incredible there. And what was he, 6th, 7th? Chicago.
Yes, wait a second.
Bodybuilding
That was so dumb though. I get the
He beat Rolly Winkler.
he did.
I got a lot of haters for that because I said Max Charles was gonna beat Rolly Winkler in my prediction list, and I got like
Vindicated.
twice as many thumbs downs on my video. People unsubscribed from me. No, it was a big deal. Like people were messaging
Rolly love
me,
is
"You're
real."
an idiot," and I was right. And then they came back. A lot of them commented back. You can actually see the video. It's hilarious. And people are commenting back. They're like, "What's that?"
I'll have to look at
It's
it.
Yeah,
the
drop the
Chicago
link in
Pro
the-
prediction video that I made. 2021.
2021.
21. Yeah.
Woo!
And
We've been doing
the
this for a
comments,
while,
some of them deleted their comments, but some of them didn't. And they're like, "You're an idiot if you think that Rolly's going to lose to Max Charles."
I'm sorry.
And I didn't even have Wilkin in there. They did. A lot of them said, "I'm sorry."
Well, I can help.
Man,
It's so funny.
nothing to do with the eyesights, though. It's my perception of what's going on.
Yeah,
Not my
and that's why they
eyesight.
immediately discredit you. And that's
Yeah,
the
those
immediate
glasses
discredit
must not be
attack.
working.
If,
Yeah.
if you think this, you don't know bodybuilding like I do. Therefore, you're wrong because I know more than you. Because I've just discredited you. Because you have this opinion.
See, I remember when I first started, I watched bodybuilding for years before I really knew the fine details of it. I like shape and physiques. Who cares about striated glutes? Like I always say.
Me.
Who cares? Why would you? You're just watching it. Or you're first watching it. And
Good to look at.
you don't even know what a back, like lat insertions are or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like, who has the biggest bicep peaks? I thought, you know who I really liked back in the day was Mike Matarazzo. I was like,
Sure.
why does he not win the Olympia? I was so stupid. I didn't know anything. I said,
Are you ready for a 20-minute explanation?
no idea.
The
feel
what? Yep. My ex-wife would sit there and listen to me talk, and she would joke with me. She'd walk around and say like, "Oh, it's streamlined and taper and X-frame." She would just say the words like the hot words, and she'd have no idea what it meant. Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can see the clavicle. He's got a wide clavicle, and it's just.
I love a guy with a wide clavicle.
I wish my girlfriend was sitting here. She'd think that would be pretty funny. Yeah, she's not here in this episode, guys. I was watching one of the Monday Morning Muscle shortcuts, or what do you call it, clips, and you could see like her face in the very bottom corner of one of them.
I'm going to have to go back and look.
It's terrifying. It's like cut in half with the microphone. I felt so bad, but I didn't want to delete it. If you go to the shorts on our Instagram page, you'll see her face, just like
Dylan's
staring
going
and
right
watching.
now. Girlfriend
Yeah,
drop.
no, you're
Dylan
good.
needs to see.
You probably found it. It's
Kenson's
pretty
wife
funny.
popped in there
No,
one
I
day
haven't.
because he has like the green
Oh.
screen, and her face just popped in out of nowhere, and then she backed off.
Well, I mean, yeah. No. A couple
Kenson's-
weeks ago, I didn't have the
Kenson's
green
wife.
screen.
Kenson's wife, I mean, on EP,
Oh, I see her.
Yeah.
one of his podcasts.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It looks like, respectfully, because she's laying down, it looks like you're harboring like a dead body and you've slipped
It does
up.
look terrifying a little bit.
I'll send the screenshot for the fans.
Us, so I can see too.
I'll send it in the group chat too.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Man, wow.
You
this
can pull it
pod
up because I sent it
is
to you as
just,
well.
all over the place. We'll get on topic for about like 5 minutes,
Oh,
and then
that's
we're just
Saucy's
gone.
face. Oh, yes, there she is back there.
Nope. Well, it's funny because like when we're recording like this, it only shows this
EP
much.
seen it.
Yeah, but then everyone, make sure you go check out Monday Morning Muscle.
Of
Shameless
course,
plug.
Monday Morning Muscle.
There'll be plenty of other little Easter
little
eggs,
nuggets, yeah.
Easter eggs like that you can find.
Is she Asian?
Yeah, Filipino. Yeah,
Because where are you at now? California or Maryland?
Maryland.
But
There's no correlation.
she's not from Maryland.
No, she's from the Philippines. Yeah.
But she lives in Maryland.
Yep.
And that's the mystique. Is she Army? Exactly. It's the mystique. You walk up, you go to the Five Guys, like you said, you like the Five Guys, and you go in your uniform.
Or
Comes
four
out of
guys. I
that
mean,
Ford
I'm not too
F-150
picky.
truck.
Exactly. And she's like,
Feet
oh.
3 inches.
She's like,
tall, drink
exactly.
of water.
And it's
Handsome.
proven Asian women like white men more than other races. It's true. And she sees this hunking,
this. This is
tall,
white.
man, and she's like, "Oh, wow!
Look
I
at that
have to pursue this."
care of himself.
Showers at least
Arm.
regularly.
North Asian. Yep. Korean, Japanese, Chinese. Yeah, South Asian, which is more my preference. They like to have that nice golden skin. Which
Sun
is,
touches me. I turn
I
brown
love,
as soon as the
I
sun
love a
touches
good
me.
tan.
My preference, I really like them a little darker. You know, like that, like a good French fry, a nice crisp
I like 'em cooked a
exterior,
little in the sun, yeah.
a nice sheen to it.
I like it when they like. So like, when I look at like Marine Blanquise, I always forget her name, but like the bikini Olympian. Yeah, I always mess her name up. I know her and her boyfriend. Like I've talked in person. They're awesome people. But like whenever she posts a picture, I always show my girlfriend like, "Hey, she posted another one." She's like, "Oh, she's so pretty." So I always I see a little bit of resemblance because they're both Filipino.
And you're like grooming her so she becomes a Miss Olympia.
You know what? I took her to the gym the other day. I'm not like deflecting that, but when I took her to the gym and she was doing leg extensions, I could see the striations in her quads. Like the muscle's already there.
Well,
She's
the Asians
never
have
trained.
good quads. All of them. I've never seen one without. Okay, this is really bad. All of them, no backs, great quads.
She doesn't have a back, no. Tiny.
Sung Chu
And
Lee
then-
has a good
and then-
4'11", 97 pounds.
It's like every race
Great
has
quads.
their own like pluses and minuses. It's quite literally like a video game. Darker guys, darker complected. I don't even just want to say black people because it could be in other races too, but they tend to be a little more round, but also have that thicker skin at the same time. Phil Heath luckily had a combination of both. The thin skin that usually only white people more predominantly get. Iranians
Yeah.
can really do it as well. But he had the combination of the he had the light skinned Rizz in terms of genetics. I don't know what to say, but it's true. It's true. It's like it is fascinating. I'd love to know the literature on this, but I guarantee there is none. I guarantee there's none.
Yeah, bodybuilding is so niche, you know?
Yeah, because if there are differences, which I respectfully I do think there are in terms of bodybuilding, like no one wants to highlight those differences. I mean, I respectfully, if I was in a scientific journal, I don't know if I'd want to.
It's because there's always exceptions to the rule. Like when somebody says the calf thing, I always say, yeah, except for Chris Dickerson, except for Paul Dillette, except for Phil Heath, except for Quentin Beastwood. You want me to continue? And I can keep going and going. Kai Green, lots. Let's go the other way. Ian Valliere, Dennis Wolf, argumentative.
There are trends.
I do know it's a lot of it has to
Yeah.
do with evolution.
Yes.
Running. High calves are the. Do you ever see the top 10 of the 100-meter dash runners? Where'd their calves go?
They're all from
Because they're all high
from
calves.
Africa's.
It's a quick twitch. Whereas the low calves are better for like the Nordic people because they're always climbing the mountains.
Yeah, tilling the farm.
They're the hilly lands, right? They're always climbing mountains, and you're gonna get
Right.
big low calves.
Right. No, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Exactly.
As far as Iranians, they've never had to I'm part Native American, right? We had to get fat for the winter. Always. That's how we evolved. If you've never had to do that, your genetics are going to be more conditioned.
Crisp.
It's going to be easier to get the thin skin. Crisp.
It makes and now we have, man, this is the most diverse bodybuilding podcast I think there is out there.
Every 20 minutes.
And
I really should return this thing.
Man, I hate when that happens.
Dios míos, papi.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you guys get on with racial humor in Australia?
They're like, love it.
big fans. Well, okay, but Lee Priest seems like, he seems like a larger than life
the
guy.
Enigma.
He seems like yeah, the what Josh said.
Enigma.
Well, I don't care about the media because they're a bunch of libtards. But what like your friends? Your friends. Is that common?
Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, luckily for Mark, Mark, you don't have a phone. Is this correct? I've heard this.
This is correct.
Ah, that's true.
No,
Quite literally.
You can be dirty without a phone. So see, the thing about Lee Priest, and the way he does push the envelope, and the reason why I believe, ultimately, I've known him for I've seen him interact with people for many years. The guy's just not racist. So you can almost...
Xavier, on the other hand.
It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I say. I know I'm not racist. So if it comes out the wrong way or something like that, I could... people will... knocking at the door.
Who's that? Who's that?
I thought I heard somebody.
That's really interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Xavier.
Yeah. You have fun. What do you think that was?
Too funny.
It was Santa Claus, he said.
I'm sure
love
there was
Santa
a
Claus.
gift.
Read between the lines. Ho, ho, ho.
There's certainly... Oh, you don't know that. Mark, she could be nice.
No, I mean Santa Claus, he says ho, ho, ho. Change Santa and spell Satan.
Really?
Yeah, guy dressed in red. Guy dressed in red. Coming around on Jesus' birthday.
Jesus wasn't born on...
How do you... Depends on who
October
you
or
ask.
something. My Jesus was.
I definitely don't want to go there.
No.
Furthermore, even the people that say it's all bullcrap, well, where's your evidence?
True.
Nobody has
So
much
true.
evidence here. I'm not seeing any anyway. So, no, I'm not going to make fun or ridicule Christianity or any religion. I just don't take part in it.
I'll ridicule just about anything.
Got to be with the right people. Like me and my wife, we both joke around and stuff.
A couple of jokesters. You like those the two Muppets? The two Muppets. What are they called? What are their names? Yeah, good luck on that. I don't.
No, I don't remember.
Charles?
I believe one of the guys from Full House did the voices for them two guys. Joey.
The one that touched the kids?
Joey did? No, he didn't.
No. Joey definitely did. That's a thing.
Joey, the Alanis Morissette's ex-boyfriend?
What's his name? Dave Coulier?
Dave Coulier is one of those?
He had some inappropriate interactions at the very least.
Oh, jeez, I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, I think most of the set did, unfortunately, with a lot of, child actors, especially back in the day, had it rough.
They did have a rough go at it. Especially
because there was no media to report on these things, There was no one that could keep it under wraps.
Not Dave Coulier. Jeez, I can't believe that.
Yes.
That's the reason why Alanis Morissette wrote all those songs,
He says my dad came to visit, says Xavier.
Well, he was Santa Claus. He brought all the presents.
What do we got left?
Hold on. Is Dave... I gotta look up these Dave Coulier. I'm sure...
He was the reason why Alanis Morissette sung that song, because she gave him something in a theater. She really did do that. Yeah, she really did do that.
I heard about that.
She did. And then she wrote the song because he
Were you there?
No. Well, in that sense, how do we know anything's real?
Valid, Mark. Valid.
JFK, all set up.
Could be. That'd be really unfortunate for JFK.
Okay. Well, they're all allegations. What I said about Dave, are all allegations. All allegations. Let me preface that.
So it's not like Jared from Subway.
Was there proof on Jared? That's before my time, really. I was like
Well, he's
5.
in prison for it, so
He's in prison.
Oh, I didn't know if he.
Yeah.
I saw a
Yeah.
recent picture.
He's a
I don't
bad.
know. Oh, is he out?
Yeah, he's a bad.
Please,
I don't
let's
think
not
he's
act
out.
like they aren't solely running most countries.
so Big Ramy
Name your show
officially
The Rabbit
out.
Hole, Josh.
Yeah,
The
it's-
rabbit hole.
it's-
I
it's
think that
baffling.
gets, like,
I'm gonna have to send you guys
far-right
topics for
things.
like chapters, and then we'll just have like a time hits of like every 20 minutes. We're like, okay, we should
I'd be
probably
okay
be
with
moving
that.
towards this topic.
If you want to send me like a thing, like I'd absolutely do that. I thought about doing that for my own
But
podcast,
then I
but
become
I've
an
been
actual producer, and like for Monday Morning Muscle, I'm truly a producer. Like Tonio hosts, he doesn't talk much, but we bring on a person and they have a conversation, and I just kind of guide the conversation and throw questions in.
Tony
Here, I
great
kind of
have
want to
in the
like just
background.
talk to you guys. I don't want to have to like guide the conversations too much.
You can do a little bit of both.
Yeah, I might have to. I wonder how Fuad does it. You know, he does it. I mean, he's been doing it for a couple of years now.
Fuad doesn't. Is that a podcast? Is that a podcast?
It's like a
they
bro
are
chat.
on a
It's literally
pod.
called bro chat. Yep. It's a couple of older Canadian fellas talking about.
There isn't a single. Well, I mean, there isn't a single bodybuilder on the chat hardly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not an active one really.
Mike.
Hey, this one has
Wait,
just as
with
much just as much validity.
You guys like that, Mike and Matt?
I've been on the
feud?
stage. I'm not on it anymore. It's just as accurate as they are.
Kid name stage.
Kid name stage.
Gotcha
Was
on
that-
that one.
Kid name stage.
Guy wrote
I
it.
guess it'd be kid name the stage.
Oh,
Stepped on his kid.
No, because you were like, I'm on the stage.
I've been on a stage.
Have
Not
you?
competed, yes. I've
Yeah,
seen
you
the
want to see
picture.
my,
named-
my banana hammock photos?
Kid named
All
a
oiled up.
stage.
And tan.
Yeah, you look.
We should oil
I've
up
I've never
for
been
this
able to
Pretty
podcast.
good condition, too, I
repeat
must
that
say.
physique since. I'll probably do a men's physique next, I think. I like the posing.
Why?
I've enjoyed it. When I do the practicing, I mean, I've got a lot of gyno, and when I get super lean, it doesn't really go away.
From
So
smoking
if
pot.
I do the men's physique, huh?
Gyno from smoking the dope.
Yeah, you know me, you know.
Palumbo did.
No, I think, actually, no, I was really good. The whole 10, 11 years I was in the Army, I never did anything. And then I got out, and then that 7 months I was out and I had the beard, I was dating a girl, and she would come over and we'd go to the hot tub, and she'd light a little spliff, whatever you want to call
Doobie,
it.
spliff, reefer,
Yep. And she'd just sit there and smoke that.
Roach.
roach. Roach is just the cigarette butt.
Just the end.
Just-
Oh, really? It's not just the end of a blunt as well?
It's a roach. It's when it's done, you put it out and you throw it on the ground. That's a roach.
Nah. I don't know.
Now,
I'm
the roach is
amateur.
big enough you can smoke it, but here in
If you're
Canada,
homeless,
you
you
can
can
just
smoke
grow it
anything.
outside, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aqualung did that.
Aqua lung.
You know that song, Mark? You don't know the song Aqualung by Jethro Tull?
No, never heard of Jethro.
That's
Tull. Jethro Bodine. You know who Jethro Bodine is?
you're such a liar. You know who Jethro Tull
No, I
is.
don't. I know Jethro Bodine.
They may even be Canadian.
You don't know who
They-
Jethro
they-
Bodine is?
No.
Sanch?
Is he a
Really?
wrestler?
Jethro Bodine from the
Jethro-
Beverly Hillbillies.
Man.
His real name was Max Baer. His father was a heavyweight boxing champion of the world, Max Baer. And
Oh, wow.
he was Max Baer Jr. Went into acting.
Max Bear.
Yeah, he beat Primo Canera.
Primo.
Yes. He was a giant boxer. He was like 6'3". You guys don't know boxing? Come on.
No.
Not really, no.
You know, I just don't consume much media. I gotta be honest.
It's just
Well, this was
bodybuilding
back
for me.
in the early days, in the 80s. You watched TV.
Yeah, and
there
I'm
was
not
nothing
catching
on but
up.
boxing. You'd watch it if it was on TV.
I'll barely catch up with the old school bodybuilding stuff outside of what Mark posts. Like, I wish I was better about it, but it's just there's so much.
Project Bodybuilding has really good comparisons, actually.
Ooh, he also does. I've heard he does some good stuff. I've definitely seen it at least once or twice.
More
Yeah.
concise. More,
more
scripted.
concise.
Yeah, definitely
less,
not more
less
concise.
banter.
When Xavier came on here earlier, and you said Xavier revealed. See, like I was saying, you didn't think of that premeditated. That came on the fly. See, if you didn't script your videos, a lot of that stuff would come out, and it would be funny.
A lot of rambling in my videos.
That's what they want to hear. Ramble.
No, they don't. No,
They want
it's
that
just like,
personality.
I talk in circles in a script as well, so it's like scripting is the best thing I can do.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
saying,
mean, everyone's got their own style, I
you
guess.
could do it quicker. You could probably do it quicker without it.
I wouldn't feel, and then I'd forget things as well. I already
Yeah.
forget things in
Oh,
scripting.
I
but
hate that. I meant to say a joke or something. Sometimes I'll even write it down, like,
Yeah.
"Meow," see? Say, "Meow, meow," 3 times, and followed by
Say
a
revealed.
I'll do bullet points. I don't do scripts. I'll write down like hot words like
Cream.
cream. Yeah, literally my notes for this episode was William Bonac, Brett Wilkin, Big Ramy, Patrick Moore, UK, Italy. Hunter Best? Question mark.
Yes.
Simple.
Well,
'Cause I know what I wanna
let's
talk
do a
about.
review. Go through all your points again.
All my points. Well, we talked about Italy. You know,
Okay. I think
Hunter
I
looked
want.
phenomenal. The footage we saw. The UK, it's going to be Patrick versus Presty.
I'm not convinced Patrick would. I think Presty has a better chance of winning than Patrick does at second.
Yeah, and
Somebody
we
else will
also
get in
have
there,
Lewis
too.
Breed, who's going to be in that talk.
Lewis, man, Lewis.
Monasteer.
Yeah, Lewis is
is
really
good.
good. Even those new crop of guys that we saw at Italy are very good.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Brett Wilkins for Legion.
Overrated. At this point in time.
Yep.
He will be better. He will be very good. But like, respectfully, I was just thinking about this. Who has he beat?
Yeah,
Who has he beat?
he's only ever lost to Beirut, though. Aside from the last little couple of times,
And why is that?
because
And why is that?
freaking
What
good.
No, what shows has he been? Well, he lost to a lot of guys at the Arnold. What shows has he been doing to only?
He beat
lose
Theo
to Beirut.
Labrere.
Okay, so he's what?
Theo placed like
19th
Was
at
it
the
Theo?
Olympia?
Was
Yep.
it Theo?
Yeah, he did. I mean, no disrespect, but it's just like everyone thinks of him so highly because, again, the Nick Strength and Power graveyard. He will be great. I absolutely think so, and he's had a lot of time off, a lot of time away from the stage. But I'm not sold on him. I am. I'm not saying like I'm not like I know what he's capable of. I don't know if he's going to reach a good level yet. Like Vlad, who's going to be at Legion, I believe.
Yeah.
Going to outsize Brett by a lot. Brett's kind of he wins on the details. I will say that.
Sukuruchu.
Very big for his frame, but he wins on the details. What's that?
If he comes in there with that midsection the way he does, Brett will beat him.
I agree. I think Brett could be 220 pounds on stage and Vlad could be 270, but with that midsection, it doesn't matter to me. Like, Vlad's not winning. Vlad should never win.
It almost reminds me of Justin Rodriguez. It's like if he has the goods,
course.
he has the
With
goods, back,
questionable shoulders as well.
legs, everything. Yeah, he has to have the matching. Slapped on some
Oil reserves.
You slapped on clay. You know,
You never even know if it's actually SEO or if they're just injecting there.
you'll never know.
For Justin, it's clear.
Yeah, Justin, it's like he's got shoulder pads on.
There's some old
I think for
school,
Hottie, yeah, it's maybe a little bit of both.
old school guys you can look at, and it's hilarious. Like these extra big, long bicep peaks, and it's like if that guy competed now, people would say that's psych.
They-
For sure, but it's not. Look at Bill Grant. Look at his biceps. They look like they're filled with oil,
oh yeah.
but they're not.
But to answer your point, Josh, I think Brett wins Legion.
Yep.
Pretty.
The only people I know are Vlad and Jason Lowe, and Jason's getting there.
Is
but,
Jason
I mean, the
competing
guy,
there? Really?
Yeah,
Just not
Jason
yet.
Is he
yeah.
still looking big?
Yeah, he just
Dialed
it's just
down.
so hard for him to come from. He's a classic Olympian. He's a
Then
212
212.
Olympian,
Yep.
and now he's trying to be an open Olympian. And it's really hard for him to move up all those divisions.
Wants to be the three-peat.
Yeah, I think the first ever. Yeah.
He could win all three.
I mean, Stanimal? No, he
No,
didn't.
He went men's
Physique.
physique right to open.
Physique.
He did not. He didn't do classic as well.
I thought he
Are
did.
we sure?
He might have done classic, but
thought
he
he-
didn't.
I thought
do
he
the
did
Olympian
classic.
That's a three. That's a three.
I thought he did classic.
Oh, not an Olympian though.
Yeah, Jason's an Olympian.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Okay, I stand corrected.
You know, Derek
But-
Dunsford, if you think about it,
Overrated.
His shape, though, I know he's massive, but his actual shape, he actually could win the classic physique title if he lost 100 pounds. Most 212 guys would never stand a chance because of their shapes.
Yeah, the
In my
structure, yeah,
opinion,
yeah.
nobody else in the history is as close to winning all 3 titles as Derek Lunsford.
And that's
You
what's
think
wrong
he could
with the
suck down?
sport.
Because you remember him, the way he looked in 212 was like,
Yeah, you could lose a couple more
what do you
pounds.
call
like
it,
a
like
spider.
ghastly?
Like a spider.
Yeah,
Like 2021, I wasn't that impressed. I gotta be honest. I didn't like it.
Is that when he won?
it was really skinny.
Yes, he looked like.
And it looked awkward.
when you
The structure
when you
looked
look
awkward.
at somebody, you can just tell that they lost muscle to be here, and he's one of those guys.
Yeah, him. What was that other guy? Sucked a bunch of weight down to make
Tony O.
Peter Molnar.
classic. What was
Peter
it?
Molnar,
No, Peter was
Peter
classic.
Molnar. Yeah, that guy's crazy.
Peter
the
shoulda-
freezer.
He should have stayed in classic, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Not
don't-
like him.
I
They've
think
never
he's
have,
done.
Yeah.
Done.
He's- I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a while.
What's your
What's
next
Peter
point?
up? What's Peter up to? My
Oh,
next
yeah,
point.
okay.
Let's see. Brett, Big Ramy.
Huh.
Everyone's making a story about
What a
that
joke!
for some reason.
Retire.
Told you they don't retire. It keeps them relevant.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
It would just be
bodybuilding.
nice.
It's bodybuilding though.
The-
If they see a lineup so weak, ready for the plucking, and they all of a sudden they look fantastic that year, maybe they will compete again. Look at Arnold when what's his name broke his narrow urethra.
Frank Zane.
Yeah, he smelled the blood in the water like a shark.
Yeah. like,
look,
oh, Arnold's.
here I come. Sharks do eat people more than the government lets you know. Look, more.
That's not true.
It's not true. It's true.
But Big Ramy, everyone knew he was out a few weeks ago once that photo got posted of him like at the beach or like at the gym that's on the
Yep.
beach.
I don't think I broke it, but I posted it.
It's just like it's so it was obvious. Maybe I think we all had the hunch even earlier than that. Like there's
Yeah.
just nothing. Like there's
no
just nothing.
news, no talk. He's not doing
Yeah.
interviews. There's no
And
training
honestly,
footage.
I remember him specifically talking to Bob Cigarello and saying he may be interested in the 2025 Arnold, and this was after, like, pretty close to the 2023 Arnold.
Oh, I thought it was in Dubai. He just did an interview with Bob.
But he was like,
Only
well,
did the nose to nose there.
he's like, if not the Olympia, then maybe the Arnold. You know what, actually, now that I think of it, with the way that lines up, that would have been this Arnold. He's done. He's done. Maybe he comes back at the. I give it a 2.5% chance.
No.
You think he comes back if they do another KO Squad Pro in Egypt?
M's won that one.
Yeah?
So did
Mo
Mona Sor.
Shaban would beat him.
No, he wouldn't.
No, not really. Not really. Not really.
Poor
I don't know.
Mo, poor Mo.
I don't know. Mo told me he's going to compete in 2025. He said he's taking this year off, obviously.
Yeah.
With the hair transplant.
Hair transplant.
He actually
That's not what
replied
he-
to my message at
That is
like
not what he did.
3 months later.
Did he get a hair transplant?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Well, I
First
know
new
he was
head
in the
of hair.
hospital for something else.
Foolishness.
Oh, maybe it was just in conjunction.
He looks okay. Middle Eastern guys, I think they just like they look good. They look okay bald.
They should just
Yeah, it's
let
a
it
good
go
look.
bald.
Mo Shaban looks good bald.
Did you guys see C-Bum's hairline? It's like down there. It looks
I
so
can't stand it.
stupid.
Yeah.
Looks like a big fake mat. And he's like, Daddy's
Perfect
home.
for Gymshark. Him and the Broccoli Boys are gonna get along just fine.
Foolishness. I seen a guy at the gym today with a Gymshark shirt.
I can't do it.
Was
I
he
see
some
it, I'm just
punk
like,
kid?
No, he was bigger than me.
Wait, you went to the gym today? Not in like
real
your
gym?
barn?
No, I went to the gym. The real gym.
Wow.
And there was somebody in the Gymshark. That's
Yep.
how you know the brand's getting
Yep.
big.
Even worse, it was a woman.
No, it was a big, wide clavicle son of a gun. Skip leg day, by the way.
You don't need that.
Gymshark types.
Gymshark type. Yep. Curly hair.
Did he have curly hair, Mark?
No, I think he was wearing one of them big Mickey Mouse headsets and covering his hair.
Yep.
With what? A hat?
If you want to be my model.
With the hat.
Was it a
That's good
Was it a
look.
beanie?
Look at him next time. I didn't really take.
Yeah, get a good look at him. Take a picture for us.
I haven't got no phone.
Ask him for
Oh
some
yeah,
stage
you'll have
photos.
you'll have to set up one with the flash movie.
People say that
I
to
wish
me
I was
all the
like
time.
Mark.
Your
I
phone.
wish if I could get rid of this, that'd be amazing. You know.
People say that to me,
Just
like when I'm
detach.
out in public or something. Just put it on your phone or something like that. Or I'm like, what? What do you mean? What phone? Why would you assume that I have a phone? I'm not the president.
That's
I've
so
got
crazy.
I've got a Polaroid. I can get it on film.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Mark trying to be inconspicuous
With the
and,
flash.
and the gym's dead silent, and you just hear that.
It actually was quite silent this morning. It was dead.
Oh, this morning. When'd you go?
Well, it wasn't in the morning. It was like
Oh, so you lied.
YouTuber
I left
morning.
here in the morning.
Full-time YouTuber morning.
Mark wakes up early.
He does.
You hear that?
Depends. The wife gets up early most of the times, and I'll get up with her. But if she sleeps in, well, she's the boss, so I sleep in too.
Valid. Yeah. Smart man.
Next point.
Big Ramy, William Bonac, recent physique update.
My great Bonac. Top 10 if he's lucky.
If he's lucky. No.
Well, actually, Tonio's gone. He's like 11th, 12th.
Yeah,
10th,
him and Antonio would have been
9th.
a great comparison.
I was going to do it too. I was going to do it.
Man.
I didn't have it set up or anything. I wasn't like in the middle of it, but it was on my list.
I think
Ooh, I'm
Bonac
gonna
will
message
do
Tony
okay
right now
at
and
this
see if we can
year's
get
Olympia.
Bonac on. That'd be a good interview.
Oh, please have me on.
Dude, Tonio like
Please,
the
I want
superpower.
to talk to Bonac. I want to touch his dreads.
What?
You can clip that one, Josh. You can clip that one.
That's pretty
And leave the
funny.
pause in there for when Mark says, what?
What?
You should definitely clip that. Tag
And
me.
that's the way.
And Bonac. Yeah, I mean,
Not a lot to say. I mean, amazing.
we've seen him enough this year. We've seen him
a
enough.
lot. Yeah.
I think he's going to do
I
good.
think-
He could do good.
What's good?
I'll tell you what's good is there's going to be a lot of people that are making their debuts, and he's going to have an advantage over them cats. I can tell you that.
Yep, he's going to get
I
the
think-
look. The judges will look at him.
Yes, that way.
Last
and
time-
nerves.
Last time he was ninth.
Nerves.
Last time he was ninth. He did.
Different lineup.
He beat Rafael Brandao. That's true.
Different lineup.
I think he's going to get slightly pushed out. So I'm saying 10th to 12th, something in there.
You got to think the two guys that he was fighting with, they're not going to be at the Olympia and Beirut. The only.
Okay,
Yeah,
but in a lineup, let's think. You have your top 5, which includes Andrew to Derek, Hunter. Martin can probably beat Bonac. Raphael at this point in time didn't beat him last time, but I think it's Raphael's time now. That's 8. That's 8.
Yeah, Andrew
And then-
ain't going to make it in that.
Top 5? Well, I'm just saying, And then I put Hunter in the 6, but that's 8.
Yeah.
That's 8. That's 8 guys that maybe he can pick off one. And then you
Curry?
have guys, I think he's more in the tier of John Jewett, would have been in the tier of Tonio, especially at this point now that he's kind of downsized and deteriorated in a little bit in some ways. The shape really hasn't, the shape has gotten better in some ways and others not. The legs, not what they used to be. I see his ceiling is like, no, 8th. I see him realistically 10th to 12th.
I wouldn't be upset with a 10 to 12, yeah. Because you got Bonac, or you got Curry, Hunter.
He could beat
I didn't
Curry.
even mention Curry.
Martin.
I didn't even mention Curry. That's 9 names.
He could-
Okay, he could pick off a couple
a
of those
lot
names.
of people.
That will be a
need to
moral
fit in that
victory
top
if he
10.
beats Curry.
He should. And then retire right there and say, I beat your ass.
It's like Mike Katz actually beat Ken Waller at the Olympia.
That's funny.
Yes.
That's funny. Mike Katz looks so weird.
But he
One of the most bizarre looking people I've
it's
ever
the
seen.
pumping iron thing. He lost to Ken Waller. They both competed at the 1980 Olympia, and he placed one place ahead of Ken Waller. So good old Mike. He's like a dog. He can kick a dog so many times.
That's what he said.
Roll over and die, or he's gonna get back up and bite you.
That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said.
course.
Good old Mike
Hit
Katz.
the pose the wrong way, you end up looking like a big spider.
And he did. He had the skinnier arms, the bigger torso. Yeah, I see the comparison.
Yeah, big man chest.
He did. Big rib cage. So Bonac, now that I've gone through it, I would say top 11. Top 11. Where do you have him? Huh? Give me an answer. Okay, I'll take it. That's good.
So he doesn't beat. Who doesn't he beat? He doesn't beat Martin, and he doesn't beat Hunter, but
It's
he
kinda
beats
like a
Curry,
thing-
and he beats Brandao. Because in the
I think he
top
could.
5, you got
I think he
Samson,
could still as well.
Andrew, Hottie,
Derek. Nick.
Nick.
That's the 5.
And then outside of that, you have the Orbiters, Hunter. Brandon will probably still,
Brandon.
even how bad he may look, he's going to be at least solid. And they just like Brandon. I don't think, even if they want him pushed out, it's not going to be that obvious.
No, they'll push him like 1 or 2 this year.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't make the Olympia any. He doesn't make it exciting. So I don't understand why he keeps getting that look. When the legs are,
He
just
should not have been
not
fourth.
Good.
I don't really think fourth was.
No.
Hunter
The
should
upper
have been
body's
fourth last year.
phenomenal, but the lower body is sub top 10. And I've done a comparison.
Oof.
I've done the side by sides of the entire
Yeah.
top 10, and his legs were always last.
I think I've maybe one of my first videos I've seen of yours then, because I
It was
remember a
a
video
petty
just like that.
It was a very
Yeah.
petty video.
But no, okay, well, Mark, I don't know if you answered that question. Brandon versus Bonac,
That's gonna be
just like
exciting.
kind of up in the air.
It's gonna be exciting.
Bonac, respectfully,
Non-answer.
Bonac couldn't beat Brandon when Bonac was bigger.
Yeah.
Bonac is smaller now.
Yeah, but this
Very true.
is a different matchup now.
It is a different matchup. And the lineup changes things a lot. Like 2 shorter guys next to Brandao, and then who knows if like Andrew Jack gets pushed to that second call out. Maybe these are the guys that are making up the second call out instead. It's interesting.
If Andrew Jack is in the second call out, I would be baffled.
Well, not if they do like. Okay, let's say that you're maybe they just want the top 4, and they go.
Oh, okay, valid.
Nick, Nick through Derek, and then Andrew just doesn't have enough. He's not complete enough to compete with the other guys. I see, even if the tier differentiation is so slight, I think they'll make it. They're going to have to. I think they should do. This is going to be one where they should do literally everything under the sun. They should have maybe a 2-man call out, put those guys back in, and do a large 6-man call out, and then divide it up into different groups. I think we could be there all night, and for this Olympia. It's unfortunate that we have to say, like, we can be here all night, but that night starts at midnight because we have so many other divisions to get through. But I'd like to see if they do it a lot of different ways. I think everyone should get a fair shake, and I want to see different groups.
Would it be more exciting if they only did like a top 4 and they never did a top 2? So you don't really know
Well,
who's
that's what they did in 2020,
who's locked in?
2022. A lot of people right till the end thought Big Ramy still might have been the champion.
Yeah, there's like the top 5.
Yeah, and that was exciting.
Because they were like, oh, he's winning so good that they put
Yes,
him
That's
to the
what Nick
side.
said.
Yes,
That was the conversation. Yep.
yeah, and
then
it
we got
make it
blown away
exciting. It really did.
Yeah.
I think they should. I don't think there's any reason they can't do multiple. Like,
Time.
top 4 call
Time.
out, and then at the very end call out the top 2, maybe put them back in. I think that'd be great.
Gets hard too. It's very different. Like you do a big 5-way comparison, it gets impossible.
I
Why
hate
they're-
those.
that's why
and
they're
then the
like-
photos are always so far away, you can't even look at them.
And that's why they're like
And the streams.
divided up into groups of 3. 3's okay. Once you get 4, 5's, I think they'll stick with.
I think 3 to 4 is the perfect one, depending on how good the guys are. 5,
Yep.
bit too much. 6, forget it.
The thing with
Forget it.
Guys on
4,
the sides aren't getting looked at.
these guys are too far apart, and then you have to keep switching them around for each pose. And
I mean, you have to think if each guy has a 3-foot wingspan, right? When they hit the front double, like elbow to elbow, right?
rear double
Which is
the widest pose.
right. And let's be conservative. And everyone has a 3-foot wingspan, which is, some like Andrew Jack. That's conservative, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost 20 feet, depending if they were all right next elbow to elbow with each other. If they have 6 guys.
Tonio and Rafa Brandao. Sucker.
But Steve was getting pissed last time. He's like, knock it off, guys, back on the line.
That was what's his name,
Olympia.
wasn't it? But
When Brazil,
Martin Fitzwater and what do you call him? Did that too.
Oh, well, I don't think it
Good
matters
veto.
a whole lot because they both stepped the line.
Good Vito
But-
and Martin were going at it there for the Detroit.
Oh, I remember it specifically from the Olympia because, like, Steve was actually mad.
Who was it?
Like, you could tell. It was, Derek. Brother Derek.
Maybe step of the
Not a
line,
very
yeah.
honest guy. Not
Come
a very
on.
honest guy, Brother Derek.
Yeah. Did you guys see when Bonac and Hattie Shupin almost got into a little tussle?
Yeah, that wasn't.
Hattie Shupin, he shouldn't be doing that, walking around pushing people like that.
yeah, it was a bit much.
Somebody's gonna, grab a hold of him. He ain't gonna pull that stuff with Andrew Jacked. Boxing.
I think, you know what? To end this point, Bonac is in my top 10.
Whoa. He went 12, 11, now 10.
Yeah, I think 10th is probably the ceiling.
I guarantee Curry ain't placing 10th.
Probably feeling they're going to put Hunter above him. I got a feeling. I don't think they're going to ever give up on Hunter. He's always going to be in that talk.
I think it's more of they want Brandon out. He's taking up vital real estate in this top 5 that they can market.
Yep. That's so true.
Like,
Yep.
respectfully, your placings have remained largely the same, second to fourth, and while the lineup's getting bigger, it's, adjusted for inflation. Your placings haven't changed a whole lot, but your physique has, and it's not for the better. And now we have new talent to choose from. Get out.
Yep.
Get out.
He's a nice
And
guy.
he doesn't market himself very well.
He is.
So.
I remember him on Patrick Bet David.
Oh, I
Valuetainment.
didn't know he did it. Yeah, that's cool.
That was right after he won.
Oh.
Because,
I'll check it
Dorian
out.
did
I
one,
remember
Ronnie did one
picture.
with Patrick Bet David.
I remember his picture, and Dorian said I do believe he looks
Wouldn't place top 6.
4 weeks out. Condition I was then.
Of course. Yeah, Dorian has nothing good to say.
Well, he's right.
Well, the weather's
He's
not
not wrong, but
the weather's not.
Yeah, he's
very
not
good in
wrong.
England. So is
I think Brandon would have placed top 6 at multiple events in the 90s. Like, no one was in condition in the 90s outside of Dorian. Not very many people, I gotta be honest.
Stop it! Don't be so foolish.
Flex, Paul Dillette, Kevin, guys that are notorious for not really bringing the condition. Not consistently, at the very least. And those are just 3 guys that don't compete at that many events all the time. There were some events where they were all 3 there and then some, but Brandon could place at a couple of events in the top 6.
Yeah, no calf.
His conditioning wouldn't look so out of place. No calves. Oh, please.
They all
Please.
have
No calves. No calves. Okay, and Flex was operating without a back.
back. His poses sucked.
His condition,
His rear double by was great at one point.
it was really soft.
No, not the rear double.
Those glutes were soggy. Those glutes were soggy.
93, they were
Okay.
pretty shredded.
Brandon has glute striations and everything. It's just the skin is really thick. Really thick skin. It's like a film over everything. Blurs everything.
Him versus Flex Wheeler would be a good matchup.
I think so
Chat.
too.
pin it.
Chat. All right. Is that the next point? Next point?
Those are the points.
Oh. Wow. Josh Saunch with his 13 points.
With my
Not
7.
13.
On
I think
Friday,
it was maybe-
Friday the 13th.
Woodrow Wilson had his point system. I think it was maybe 14 or 13. I can't remember.
Was he not the
okay.
president, Woodrow Wilson?
Yeah, he was awful.
Or is that the actor?
One of the worst.
How do you know? You weren't there.
He was literally awful. He was literally awful. Set
all
us up for
propaganda.
World War II. Well, propaganda. We're propagandized now about things that happened in the past. George Washington was a genius. Not as much as the other guys, but
I like that building that they built. The Washington.
Which one?
The
How'd that go
Washington
again?
Monument.
oh, what'd you say, Josh?
He said he was like the Washington Monument.
Oh yeah,
How'd that go again?
That building they built. Yes.
Big tall white one.
No, the founding fathers. Say what you will. Did they own the slaves? Of course they did. Of course they did. They're not good people by today's standards. But were they geniuses? Absolutely. And they were bold with it. Like,
And with that,
yeah,
now
we
that you
better
dropped
end
the
there.
S word. And with that,
What did I say? The S word. Slaves.
yeah, there's certain words I don't think I've ever said on a podcast.
Well, I have a good rainbow, a good color palette of words, basically, a good vocabulary of words.
Yep, foreskin restoration. I don't think I've ever said in a
We
podcast
didn't. I don't think we
before
can
until
record on
today.
that one.
Oh,
don't think
dang
we-
it.
Oh, there's in the video now.
Foreskin restoration. Who
Manhood
believes
Canada.
that?
Check it out, guys.
Okay, once it's gone, what's the appeal?
Well, it's the idea is like to restore the nerves that were cut off at birth. That's the idea.
Oh,
So you
and
can
what group
regain
does
that
this, by the way?
sensitivity.
What group has infiltrated? What group tells its people that we have to mutilate young children? What group is this again?
So go ahead and plug your guys' media. I don't know if there's any other groups outside of like traditional Christianity. I really don't know.
It's not the Christians that come up with this. They borrowed it from somebody else, but it's
What, off with
It's-
the heads? A lot of cultures do
Yeah.
that.
Trimming.
A lot of cultures.
we're the reason
The
it's in the
J.
West. The reason it's in the West, the Jews.
No, but they did it in
We are
African tribes as well.
digressing badly.
No, it's just in their beliefs. But
Yep.
you know now.
Did you know that they
the
did that in African tribes though?
I would almost bet yes.
No, they did.
Most African tribes.
No, they did. But they waited.
They
till
do a
were-
lot of mutilation things, like they'll do the huge gauges in their ears, their lips, which is I would put in respectfully, to respect to everyone, but I would describe as some type of mutilation.
Well,
certainly.
go to America. You see 400, 500, 600-pound human beings walking around. What
That
the
is
hell do you
mutilation
call
as
that?
well, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
What do you call that? I'd rather be the
Mutilation.
person.
Mutilation. At least they have a purpose behind it. At least they think they're doing something.
For later. I'll eat that later.
You know, and like if they make their necks longer, maybe they think, oh, maybe I'm going to reach God sooner. Whatever it is,
Those
they
are women
believe
that
something.
do that. They put a ring.
I think maybe it's a beauty standard.
That's in Indonesia.
Being fat is just because you're lazy.
No, it's my thyroid.
Well, no, there was fat people back in the old days. There is every once in a while. There's people with like, Robert Hughes. Read about him.
My father.
Robert Hughes, Robert Earl Hughes, or something like that.
How big was he though? Are we talking like
600 pounds, 400 or 500 pounds?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going to say like 300. Like I can see that at Walmart tonight.
No. He was way bigger than that, and they tried
Okay.
everything on him, and nothing would work because his
Walking.
his glands were producing so much weight. They didn't even have much food back then. He just grew, and some people are right skinny.
So dubious
they
of
can't
that.
gain muscle. Some people are the opposite. They can't.
Unfortunately for these people that want to sell you excuses, guys, never forget it is a law of thermodynamics, and energy cannot be created nor destroyed. That's why you shit. Okay, that is the excess. That is what you are not using. Okay, if you bring it in,
I
you
don't
are
know.
using it.
Explain the power of a magnet.
What?
You're getting
Thermodynamics.
something from nothing. You can pull weight with that.
I don't think that's a different type of thing. That's not thermodynamics.
It's relevant, and you know it.
I don't really. No. But anyway.
Stop gaslighting me.
Exactly, you're gaslighting. If you take in less food than your body burns, it's like gas in the car, right? It's a simple equation like that. In and out. It's what it is. And for some people, your glands will make it so you are permanently your metabolism may burn 5 calories. The average human is like burning like what, 15, 2,000?
It's the, what do you call it? The genetic.
The bell curve.
The genetic curve.
Exactly. Maybe your metabolism burns 5 calories. Maybe you got the shit end of the stick in the genetic lottery. It's still calories in, calories out. Always. It is always in because at the end of the day, these aren't foods. It isn't hormones. It is energy. It is energy in the simplest form. It is numbers you can write on a whiteboard.
What about a walrus?
It's an equation.
I don't see any.
What about it?
I don't see any carbohydrates out there. Carbs, and they're pretty blubbery and fat.
They're in a calorie surplus.
But what are they
fat.
eating? Fish. You think
A lot of it.
You think they'd be peeled, just shredded with abs, but they're not.
No, they're eating very fatty fish. Very
Doesn't
fatty
matter.
fish.
I'll eat.
Yes, it does.
No. Listen. You know who you're talking to? The difference between the most fatty fish and the least fatty fish, very minute, and that's all good fat.
No.
Yes.
There is fat-free fish. There is fat-free fish.
Yes.
And salmon has like a lot.
Compared to the most fatty fish, it's not that much fat.
Eat hundreds of pounds of it. Maybe walrus eats thousands of pounds of it every week. That'll add up substantially.
You know they end up killing their babies sometimes because they try to protect them from seagulls.
And that adds to their caloric total.
They smother.
Exactly.
They drop their big blubbery mound on top of their baby, trying to think the seagull's going to eat it. And then they come over. Oh my God! What happened?
How'd that go
What
again?
else? Oh, back on the restoration thing. What is... there's a lot of... Okay. It is in the... it is something you would see on a corn site, you know, for YouTube. One of those things that prey on the gullible.
Oh, sure.
Like
Maybe.
restoration of the foreskin. This is some alchemy. This is this is Frankenstein. You can't do that. Okay, you'd have better luck restoring your foreskin, grave robbing and collecting it.
They kept the kid's foreskin or something.
That was my documentary.
Meet the parents, the Falkers or whatever. Gaylord.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Ben Stiller.
Well,
Gaylord.
We know what movie that was.
It
Meet
might
the
be in there.
Fockers.
Yeah, they had his foreskin in the.
Well, we know what type of movies you're watching based on what you knew about this other corn star. What was his name? John Holmes.
John Holmes.
And you were like, massive hog on the dude. They had a
Actually,
shootout.
that was before my time. It was like the 70s, I think.
The only guy I know from like that era is Ron Jeremy.
The Hedgehog.
But I think he's like a legend, you know, in like pop culture.
That was my time. The Hedgehog. There was.
Was he not 70s?
There was no. Oh, no, I don't think so. He was the biggest.
He looks like the 70s. Like
no.
I've seen him like on red carpets and things.
No,
he looks disgusting.
He was big and he was really greasy with them women too, real perverted and stuff. Like if he's but if he's seen them on the red carpet or whatever afterwards, he thought he was able to just go up and grab them and shit. You can't do.
It is very funny how we're talking about this corn industry and then also circumcision, and it's almost like the same group is behind both things.
Peter North. Shout out to Peter North.
What, massive hog?
Peter North. He was almost as famous as the Hedgehog there at one point.
Sonic?
No, the Hedgehog.
No, Ron Jeremy was the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yuck. Yuck, we better end this. We better.
Yeah. And with that is bathroom time.
Your girlfriend
Wow.
coming over, Josh?
No, she works. She gets off work at 11, I think, tonight, and then she goes back to work.
You're just
again
like, what's
in the
his
morning
name,
at like 7.
Coming over, Josh.
We already had one guy that succumbed to his urges. And my dad's here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he was so frantically. He's like, oh,
It was
my dad.
It was
My dad's here.
Santa Claus. That's Santa Claus.
There was a gift involved. Is that B Arthur?
Harry. It's B. Arthur.
It is. It is.
B. Arthur.
What a gift. What a gift to this world.
Yeah. No, I got a rucksack march tomorrow morning. I volunteered for, so I'm gonna go out there and put 35 pounds on my back and go walking on a Saturday morning.
That's what EP does.
Yeah, it's good for you. Easy calories burning, and on the weekends I get really lazy, so it's an easy way for me to get my steps in.
Gotcha. All right.
12,000 steps today.
Well,
Not too bad.
guys, make sure you go to Project Bodybuilding on YouTube, Project Bodybuilding 1 on
I've
Instagram.
heard about that show.
Phenomenal content. They do comparisons. They do the news. They have their own podcast. Very good podcast.
You don't say.
What are we smirking about?
What a ham. What a ham.
Are we denying these claims? Are we denying these claims?
You're a ham. What a ham.
I'm plugging. That sounds like I'm dilating. I'm plugging.
You hear the dirty
he's gonna be
words
saying
and the
later.
clean words. It's like I was watching a courtroom show, and he said they pegged him as a murderer, and they fingered him in court. What did
Damn, that sounds like a.
Did you hear that? What
What
they
they
said?
say?
Who was the
Sounds like a
director of
great
this show?
night.
Who wrote that? And that was definitely an inside joke.
Oh, for sure.
Inside joke.
Speaking, we've talked about the foreskin mutilation. We've talked about the corn industry. And now we're talking about TV in Hollywood. What do all these things have in common? One group, ladies and gentlemen. But that's for another podcast.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Wow. What a good one. That was unhinged. Unhinged 2.5 hours.
That was only 2.5 hours?
Well, I mean, probably 3.5 because we talked an hour beforehand.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
2 hours, 28
But,
minutes.
yeah. But everyone, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if you enjoy this style of long format rambling about bodybuilding and probably mostly other things. Consider subscribing. Check out Mark's Max Muscle on YouTube and Sunny Warcloud on Instagram if you want to follow him on a more close personal basis. And Project Bodybuilding on everything. YouTube and Instagram.
It's Project Bodybuilding 1 on Instagram. It's slightly different.
Oh, my bad. I knew that was the one. I wasn't sure about the YouTube, though. So check him out. He is rising quickly. So subscribe so you don't miss out.
And rising quickly.
Ooh, and rising. That's for later. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.